Honestly looking quite forward to this. I've played the Battle of the Coral Sea as the Japanese, but I've never attempted it as the Allies. So, well, actually no, my first video of War in the Pacific was as the Allies, so this should be rather interesting. Oh yeah, definitely. And hello there, Pixel. Now, of course, we do have a couple of small scenarios here. We do have a range of actual dates here as well. For example, we do have the Battle of the Coral Sea, which is the 1st of May 1942 to the 15th of May 1942. We have the Battle of Guadalcanal, the 1,000-Mile War, and then, of course, another full campaign here. We do have variations of the full campaign. We also do have the Battle of the Marianas. We have a alternative version of the Battle of the Marianas, which is actually rather interesting. I do like the commitment to having this alternate history, because of course we do have the full campaign here, but we also have the Hako Ichiu campaign, which we did actually play last week as the Allies. But of course for the Japanese, that's where you'd see the actual major diversions. But yeah, we do have a Battle of the Marianas version over here, where you would see a alternate Japanese strength there. Hello there, Lupus, Tenno, Hiker, Banzai. Today we will be playing as the Allied forces in the Battle of the Coral Sea. So it's going to be rather interesting. Of course, the first carrier engagement in history, I do believe. I suppose it would be the first engagement where no two warships saw the other one, so this should be rather interesting. Hello there, War Wizard, how you doing, my friends? So, of course, the stream doesn't officially begin until 6 PM, so we're just going to have a bit of a chat right now. Just make sure everything's running ahead and all sorted. Definitely learned my lesson from last week when I did have some technical issues, but today, zero. So ideally things will go squeaky clean. So how are you guys doing then? How is everybody? You having a good time? I thought about actually saying a good day, but of course it is now 5:53 here in the UK, so I think that one's a little bit past. Hello there, Jackalus, how you doing, my friend? Man, that's a long time name there. I do remember when we were trying to hold off the Red Army. I've actually not had a quick look at the documentary yet. I did start it, but the bloody thing is I ended up getting sidetracked by something else. To be honest, I started watching it, then I started watching a video on, was it Video Landum, basically a dig site in Northern England on Hadrian's Wall, so yeah, I don't know how I got there, but I got there. Hello there, Pinocchio. How you doing, my friend? Indeed, only about 5 minutes here, give or take, and then we'll be able to get in. So, we do have about roughly 2 weeks here, obviously included in the 1st of May. So in reality, about 15 days to see if we can prevent the fall of Port Moresby. I think the question is going to be, how do we actually approach this situation? Because it is going to be quite challenging. It definitely depends on who gets a first strike on who. Indeed, that is definitely an historical jump from 42 to 200 AD. Quite an interesting lecture, actually. Quite an interesting lecture. I still need to finish that. I'm terrible for it. Actually, there are no halves. I don't believe I actually count as millennial. Or do I count as millennial? 95. No, I wouldn't be a millennial, would I? So, ha! Oh dear. Welcome back, new Hauser. Now, of course, in this scenario, we will be seeing the forces of the US Navy as well as that of the Australian Navy, which is going to be rather interesting. I believe in the scenario we'll see potentially one, I believe it will be about one Australian heavy cruiser. We may have more, but I believe we have around about one maybe additional light cruiser. That should be rather interesting. Hello there, Grey Knight, how are you doing, my man? Hello there, Lanza, how you doing? Some very familiar names here. It's nice to see you guys again. I do genuinely hope you're having a good day, and I have missed seeing you. So how is audio then, ladies and gentlemen? Does it sound okay? Are the levels fine? They seem about fine on my end, so that's really good. I think what we'll do then is we'll obviously wait until we get to about 6 PM, and then we'll take a look at the actual scenario, and then we'll get started. I don't know if we'll be able to finish this in about the 3-hour slot from 619. I think we should probably be able to finish this without much issues. But we'll see. Well, Noel's, it's the things that you don't see that you should be worried about. I take it that would be the original version there, War Wizard. I can't say I do have a copy. That's fantastic. Thank you there for confirming that, Jackalas. Well, see, that's going to be something that we can actually make a use of during the actual scenario here, is of course using the magic interception system. Now, ideally, you should reveal some of the position, or at least some of the intention of the Japanese forces here during the Coral Sea battle. But we'll see how we go on. Only 2 more minutes now. Definitely looking forward to this. Hello there, Is that Electrowolf? I like that name. Is that the combination of Pikachu potentially and a wolf? That does sound rather interesting. Or would that be a wolf plugged into the mains? Okay, only 1 more minute and we can actually get started. Hello there, Crop Dog. How you doing, my man? Hello there, Vinay. Varnai, I'm assuming I'm mispronouncing these names. I do hope everybody is ready. Now, of course, it would be very good to have a allied victory here. We do need to see if we can bring that about. Just 1 more minute and then we're good to go. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Battle of the Coral Sea, where today we will be playing as the Allied forces. Now, that will of course include the forces of the US Navy as well as that of the Australian Navy. Of course, this battle is rather famous. I suppose it would be rather infamous for the Japanese. Now, I suppose it would be a Japanese tactical victory, but in reality, the victory was definitely that of the Allies. Of course, the Japanese carriers that we did see a Japanese carrier sunk here. Of course, one of the actual Japanese carriers was too damaged to actually join in the Battle of Midway, while the Americans did see, I believe it was the Enterprise, join the Battle of Midway. So it's a very important battle, one of those battles in history that definitely had some rather impressive consequences. So we are going to go in today as the Allies and see if we can actually repeat history or potentially improve upon history. That would be quite nice. Our mission here indicates that the Japanese are obviously making a major thrust into the Coral Sea area, with Port Moresby codenamed MO, Tulagi codenamed RZ, priority targets. This new Japanese advance constitutes a major threat to the line of communication, to Australia, and to that of Australia itself. Port Moresby is essential to the Allied strategic plan in this theatre and has been developed as a major airbase. Currently, Port Moresby is all that lies between Rabaul and the northeastern approaches to Australia and must be denied to the enemy. Right, okay. Hypo has determined that the 5th Carrier Division Shokaku and Zuikaku and a new light carrier, we believe to be Ryukoku, or Shoho, will augment the land-based air concentrated at Naval in support of the invasion forces. Fletcher's Task Force 17, Yorktown, and is that Fitch's Task Force 11, Lexington, are in the area and under your overall command. The cruisers of Task Force 44 are also at your disposal. The time to draw a line in the sand is upon us. Let's go ahead and take a look at this then. Exactly. I'm pretty sure we could achieve a total defeat here. Right then, so I am going to have to make a little bit of a disclaimer here. Of course, I am using a modded version of War in the Pacific, so my version of the game is not what you would see with the base game. Now, these map mods are very easily found, and of course you can find links to them on my Discord, a little bit of self-advertisement there, but it definitely is easy to find the map mods elsewhere on the forum. Now, another thing to touch upon is the fact that we do have a little bit of an issue here with War in the Pacific. Of course, with this game being a little bit older, we do have to work around some things. And that is, of course, the fact that I'm playing in 1920 by 1080, which is why we have the yellow box over here. The scenario area is that of the red box, so you can see something of an issue here. So what we will be doing then is actually using Control A and using the minimap here to jump around. Otherwise, we will have this shaking. Now, I don't want to make anybody feel sick, so we'll use that. So, let's go ahead and review our position then. Now, as stated in the briefing, Port Moresby is definitely of strategic importance. It is to be built up into a major airbase in this theatre. It also does help to prevent Japanese advances towards Australia itself and threaten Australia's supply lines. We also do see the Japanese over here at Tulagi. They've, of course, already landed here, though troop estimation over here is only 40 men. So not particularly too much, ideally. Now currently we have nothing in the form of a signal intelligence report. Potentially by the next turn we will see some of that signal intelligence basically coming from the magic interception system. Okay. Now of course we do have the benefit of having a number of ports around here. We do have, let's see, what do we have to play with? So we have Brisbane down here to the south. Very nice port there with a large airfield. We do need to identify rather large airfields to actually be of use in deploying our air forces. Okay. We do hold on to Port Moresby, which has a rather impressive size 3 airfield. That's definitely going to come in handy. Now if we inspect Port Moresby, we can see here that we have 23 aviation support and we only require 18 here. Now we do have 6 patrol aircraft and 12 level bombers here already. Can everybody just tell me if the music is okay? And we'll be able to adjust on the fly. So if it sounds a little bit off, then do tell me and we'll fix that right away. Now let's take a look at the amount of supply here. We do have a rather formidable amount, that is definitely true. 20,000 tons there is no laughing matter. That is a serious amount of supply. Yep. I think that's what we're going to intend to do, actually, combine the carriers. We could potentially run the carriers separate, but I think that'd be rather dangerous. Now, individually, the American Lexington class carrier does have significantly more capacity than most of the Japanese carriers. I believe only a Kagi can come somewhat close to the Lexington class. Though, of course, when it comes to this, we do want to concentrate on numbers. We may have a higher overall capacity per carrier, but the Japanese will have more carriers in this area. I believe we will be seeing 2 fleet carriers and 1 light carrier. Well, of course, we only have 2 fleet carriers. Granted, they're very good, but the Japanese do have an advantage there in the fact that they have more flat tops, i.e. more targets. Well, of course, if the Japanese do hit us, 1 ship down or damaged is 50% of our force gone, which is significantly more dangerous to us. So let's take a look at what we have over here then. So we do have a 49th Australian Battalion. Now these men, though low in number, low in experience and morale as well, okay, they're not exactly going to be the toughest of fighters. We do have the Port Moresby Brigade. Now this one does have larger numbers here. Their experience and morale isn't too particularly amazing, but we do have... what do we have here? Right. the Major General, more or less over here, isn't too particularly bad. 58 command here of ground forces, 67 over here. So he's actually a fairly competent commander. The base force, 80 infantry, 3 vehicles, 26 guns. We do have 2,604, basically second line troops, basically like engineering forces, that sort of thing, non-combatants. We do have here in place, yeah, so we have some 3.7 Mark II AA guns, 40mm Bofors AA guns, that's quite nice. The Lewis AAMG, okay, quite handy. That's definitely a welcome addition there. Okay. So what do we have to play with in terms of political points? So currently we have 0. We may gain some next turn, in which case I may take a look at actually signing a new commander here to the Port Moresby Brigade. We ideally shouldn't have to, but I'd like to make sure we do have the best of the best over here. But as you can see, we do have 20,000 tons of supply over here. We require, what is that, 665 per turn. So what we're going to do here then is begin to build fortifications. Now, I doubt they'll be ready in time, but given that the scenario here is a couple days, we might be able to get away with that. We do have an engineering force over here with a good number and a few vehicles. So ideally, they will be able to increase the fortifications. Currently, we are at... let's take a look. Port Moresby. Yes, level 1 fortifications. So ideally, we could reach level 2. I mean, it would be very nice to reach anything past level 2, but let's see what we can do, hey? Okay, so hold on to the supply here. That's a lot of fuel as well. It's definitely a major hub here. If the Japanese were able to secure the supply and fuel over here, that would actually really allow them to branch out in this area. Okay, so let's take a look at the aircraft that we actually do have here. Yeah, level 3 would be very nice. Now, of course, we do have ourselves a Catalina 1. These babies do have some rather formidable range. Let us see here. Yep, so maximum range here is about 20 hexes. So each hex here is made up about 40 nautical miles, so that is a rather impressive range. Indeed, we can see here, that's 630 nautical miles. Altitude there is not particularly impressive, but then again, we don't need it to be too high. They don't need to be that high up. We do carry radar. Now, this radar is absolutely superb. It definitely will allow us to be rather formidable. What I'm going to do here quickly is just turn down the music just ever so slightly. I think some of the tracks are a little bit louder than others. And not just the supply of fuel, if they take Port Moresby, the endanger of the Australian coastline, and it closes the Torres Strait. Yep, definitely a major choke point here. So, we'll examine the other bases here, but Port Moresby is definitely the one that we need to take a very close look at. So as we can see here, we do have the Solomon Sea, we have the Bismarck Sea. The Japanese currently occupy New Britain. We also do have forces over here in New Guinea. Now, Rabaul is going to be the major base in the area. As you can see, we already do have some minor detection over the base, so we have a general idea, a very, very general idea of what might be there. As we can see, we have currently a suspected 2,220 troops spotted with 4 guns. Now, the real number could be vastly different, but it's a sort of indication. It's not accurate, but it's somewhat accurate. It's a general view of the picture there. Not very reliable, but it's at least information. We do currently see nothing else besides this other than the forces over here at Tulagi. Now, of course, the Japanese forces have landed down here at Tulagi. It seems that potentially only 40 men on the island. That would definitely indicate that landing is still possibly going ahead, or we're just not seeing very good information here, very reliable information. There is an enemy unit over here, but as far as it goes, barring the few ground troops over there, we are not seeing very much. Now, we do have the major Japanese naval base over here. Well, the major Japanese base over here at Truk. Now, Truk is, yeah. I suppose we could call it the Pearl Harbor for the Japanese in this area. Okay. I bet they have floatplanes and flying boats at Tulagi for naval search and reconnaissance. I'd imagine so, but this is it. We do not know the Japanese strength in this area. Let's take a look at the submarine Greenling here. Okay. Right, just use the Gato class. What is our commander? What is our skipper like? The captain here. His naval ability is quite good. His aggression is not the highest, but 59 is decent enough. It shall function. Now, we do have a decent amount of ammunition here for the actual torpedo tubes. We, of course, do carry some MGs over here. We do have our deck gun, the 3-inch gun. That's going to come in handy. Of course, the submarine does come equipped with, I believe it's his air search radar. This one, SJSS. I'd imagine somebody in the chat will be able to answer what that one is responsible for. But yep, you can see this is definitely responsible for the air. Now, this is something that the Japanese definitely do lack for the most part, and that is, well, definitively lack radar. So that is a major advantage we have. So what we're going to do then is actually use this submarine over here to actually patrol here. Now, what we're going to do to figure out the potential path here for the Japanese is what we're going to do is set a patrol over here at Truck. Then a second one down here at Bal. Yeah, the submarine deck gun, the Scourge, the unescorted merchant ship and ship. Definitely. So if we take a look at this then, we'll press the 6 key over here. And we can see that this path would run directly here. Now, that gives us a good idea of what we should be patrolling here, where we should be patrolling. Now what I'm going to do here as well is press the number 1 key. Now what this does is basically, it gives you information about that actual hex, so that terrain type within that hex. So OD basically stands for Ocean Deep. We also have, let's see, do we have an example? OS stands for Shallow Ocean. Now submarines in deep ocean are harder to support, submarines in shallow oceans are easier to support. Now I do believe it affects the depth at which they can actually dive to, as well as the effectiveness of depth charges as well. So as you can imagine, this is a very good area. Ah, the Greenling was among the more successful submarines in World War II. That's very interesting. I can imagine the Americans enjoyed great success. Right then, so what we're going to do here then is we're going to set up our first patrol in this area. So we'll have a patrol a couple hexes away from Truck. The reason for that is I'd like to actually try to inflict damage when they're some days or ideally some time away from their home base. So what we'll do then is we'll start our patrol to south of Truck and then move towards Bal. Direct path, if you please. There we go. Now, let's see what we can do to help out Greenling. You'll notice that we're still seeing the path, the patrol pattern of the submarine over here. The reason for that is if you press the number 6 key, you do of course see all patrol patterns. So it's very handy for actually seeing where your units are going to be moving, and it definitely does help us plot things out. So let's take a look over here. Now we did mention that we do have a Catalina squadron. They're definitely going to come in handy. The squadron itself has, okay, morale, 54 experience, not too bad. The pilots, yes, some are more experienced than others, but that's generally pretty good. There's not much in it between them. Okay. Their naval search, yes, 57, 56, 55, 53, 49, 47. That is going to be sufficient for what we need here in this area. Okay. Now, we do have a couple possibilities here. We could have them run random search in a random arc, so basically 360, but we know that the enemy is going to be approaching from this direction over here, from New Britain, basically from Bal. So we need to intercept the enemy, we need information upon the enemy forces here. So what we're going to do then is going to take our Catalinas over here, and we're going to set them up on a, well, on a defined patrol. But at least we do have a higher chance to spot something in that area. Yes, exactly. Don't worry, they're not blind after all. If they see anything, they will report it. Definitely right there. Now, what I'm going to do here, our commander of the squadron is actually very competent there. Air Commander 71, that's very competent. We're going to put the entire squadron out here to sea. The reason for that is so I can actually have everybody out there. We will have a higher chance of actually detecting over a wider, well, wider arc. So let's go ahead and actually set that then. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is we'll press the letter Z, which will bring up the actual patrols. So let's take a look. Okay, so you can see we do have these black bands over here. That indicates that we do have all-day coverage. Now, what we're going to do then actually is potentially move this a little bit further to the south over here to cover the Solomon Sea more directly. I would be interested in covering this area here, but not right yet. So we'll move on another 30 degrees then to the south. Right, that's definitely better. So we do have fairly good coverage in this area. We could potentially extend this another 10 degrees. So we'll see what we can get away with here. Okay. Let's see, 10 degrees. Right. Notice the colour of this band has changed, which indicates that, yes, we're not going to have all-day coverage. So what we'll do then is actually take that back down to 90 degrees. So about a 30 degree arc over here. And imagine that is going to be sufficient for our needs. Now it's also going to help our submarines track down the enemy. Having basically detection on enemy forces definitely does increase your chances to destroy them. And just intercept them, just in general, if you know where the enemy is, you can go and attack them. So what we'll do then is we'll work through the scenario from north to south. That's going to be helpful in actually planning out our moves. So of course the green link is going to be over here to the north. We do have an additional 1, 2, 3, 4 submarines in the area. Let's take a look at them, shall we? So we have S-47, S-44, S-42, and S-38. Let's see what they are. Okay, so these are electric boats. S-42 class. Now, they're not as dangerous as a green link. Okay. If you are very, very lucky, those subs may damage an enemy carrier before you even sees combat. Yeah, that would definitely just wipe the Japanese out in this area. Now, Allied torpedoes aren't particularly reliable, or not too terribly reliable. They can definitely pack a punch if they do hit. At the end of the day, a torpedo is a torpedo, and should it hit a ship that isn't really equipped with a torpedo bulge, or at least the armor to resist such damage, or the damage control to resist such damage, then yes, it's definitely going to hurt. The Allies definitely do benefit from having better damage control. They are more able to handle the damage to their ships after battle. Though the Japanese do have the long-lance torpedoes, which definitely do pack a bloody good punch. Now, we could do, well, we could try a couple options here. We could have a close blockade of Rabaul, but I do like the deep ocean over here. So I think what we're going to do then is make use of this. Now, we do have something of a choke point. Well, let's see. We know the Japanese are going to be making for Port Moresby. I do have X-38 just off the coast there, towards the tip here. Which is actually very nice. If I press, I believe, F6. Yep, here we go. Now, F6, what this does is basically bring up this screen here. So you'll notice all of these little red lines. These indicate coral reefs. The coral reefs are basically impassable to every ship above 100 tons. If you have a ship that's under 100 tons, you can actually move through the coral, basically over the coral. But anything larger than that will not be able to pass. So that's very handy information. So as you can see here, this hex cannot be moved through from this one over here. Same for this one here. But we could move through it this way, or this way. So that definitely will help us to actually try and set up, well, basically choke points. As you can see here, the Japanese, if they were to move through, they would have to move something like that, or basically move through here. So this is going to be the point at which we want to watch. We do have a base over here, Milne Bay. Now, we don't have anything base there currently, but it could potentially be a rather important base. Let's see what it has in terms of aviation support. That would definitely help us out. Right, 0. So if we do base planes over here, they would rather... Well, they'd be for the most part out on their own. They're on their asses, basically. They don't have any additional support. So what we're going to do then is, as we can imagine, that is going to be the point at which the Japanese would attempt to slip through. What we're going to do then is set up a patrol in that narrow area. Okay. Yeah. That's correct. We have no airfield over here. We could base float planes over here and flying boats, but probably not the best idea. They could be under potential Japanese attack as well. So what we're going to do then is actually set up a patrol here. So I'm going to have a second patrol hex set as the first one. So, well, actually no, what we'll do here then is start here actually about Milne Bay. One more here. Then no, that will do actually. Let's see how that looks. Okay, right, that works for me. What I could do is actually move it a little bit further down the coast. So what we'll do then is press F6 again. Right, okay, we can see there's no issues with the actual movement. So what we'll do then is move this a little bit further over here. There we go. So we'll linger here for a day. No, I could linger in this area for a day, but I think what we'll do then is just linger here. I'm going to say about 3 days in this one area here. What that's going to mean then is the submarine isn't going to actually leave this hex for about 3 days. Afterwards they would then move down here. But what we'll do then is we'll see what potential results we could achieve here, and then we'll move down to the other side of New Guinea. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. Okay, so that's S38 sorted. What is the quality of your commander? Now, these electric boats aren't as good as the Greenling, which is basically... Now, what was that? The Gato class. Not as good. But they're still competent. Our skipper here... Yeah, he's a very aggressive commander, which is actually quite a good trait for a submarine commander. I'm happy with that one. We'll take a look at the actual quality of our other submarines over here. Okay. So the skipper, or captain, I'll probably end up calling them both, but we'll just say skipper for the time being, just because I do like the idea of skipper. We can see here, 57 naval, his aggression, he's a very, very cautious submarine commander. So perhaps not the best. So what we'll do here then is... Well, it's not going to be a very good idea to have him out here. He's not going to be able to intercept anything, potentially, due to him being quite passive. So what we'll do is, actually, let's see. Right, so if we were to move from a bow, we'd head this way. So we're going to have you patrol from, let's say about here. I'm going to put you on full speed as well to actually increase the distance at which you can move. And we'll base, yeah, just patrol that area there. So we'll move this one just further to the north. Linger there for 1 day, then move to the south. Well, yes, we'll linger a day in each area. I'd like to move directly. Now, of course, this is going to be burning a lot of fuel in a short time. Let's see what the difference is if I run here mission speed. Okay. That looks to be alright. We might not be able to make it to the second hex yet, but that's fine. What is the learning curve in terms of hours for a noob who is a serious wargamer? To be honest, it looks like a harder game than it really is. If you can figure out how to develop a task force, which is very easy, I'll go through that one in a short period. It's one of these games where... What's the word? I'm trying to think what the actual phrase is now. I'd say it's relatively easy to pick up, but it's quite difficult to master because it does demand practice. The games are quite long, depending if you're playing against the AI. But I'd definitely say play against a human opponent. A human opponent is far superior to that of a AI. And what I'm going to say here, to actually learn one of Pacific Admiral's edition, it just requires practice. Once you get the basic fundamentals, everything flows from there, really. I'm still learning myself. There are a lot of people on my channel that who watch and play with me who are still learning. We just help each other out. The community is fantastic. The game has some amazing mod quality. Well, basically amazing mods out there. Really quite impressive. Okay, so we won't be able to make it to here, but that doesn't matter too much as we'll be here for 1 day and then we'll move down here. At which point we may move at full speed. But for the time being, we'll just proceed at mission speed. Okay, so S44. Our commander, well, our skipper here, he's more competent than the previous commander. God, I've said captain, I've said skipper, I've said commander now. I'm just saying them all. We'll settle on one of them at some point. Okay. I need to make sure he's going to react as well. What I will do then is actually patrol this area. So what we'll take a look at then is the ocean. So we can see we do have an atoll here. The ocean does look to be deep in this area, in this central part. So we'll patrol here. If I take a look by pressing F6, yeah, passage is open there, so there's no choke points as such, other than the fact it is between 2 islands. Okay. So patrol between them. But I suppose in terms of hours, I don't know, really. It's a hard question to say, because at the end of the day, there's plenty of guides out there, there's plenty of information out there. And it just really... Some people find it easier, others will find it a little bit harder. Yeah, exactly. The most awesome thing about this game is that if you play the grand campaign against a human opponent, you can watch your children grow up as the war progresses. Definitely, definitely. There's not many games out there that actually have such, I suppose, pound for pound value. This is a game that you can legitimately play for 5 years. If you play 10 each day, yep, you'll be playing it for 5 years, give or take. Which is incredible. What other game has that sort of potential? Okay, so we have one submarine set up here. I could of course patrol further down here in the Solomon Islands, near toward Guadalcanal. But for the time being, we want to really patrol this area. What I'm going to do then is set up another submarine here. Move that patrol pattern a little bit further to the north here. So we'll linger a day in each of these. I'll push you to full speed. Now, you are actually quite a slow submarine. Yes, electric boat S42. So definitely quite slow. So we'll definitely have to move you at full speed, just to try and get anywhere. Okay, so with that, that's looking quite nice. Yes, the game has the best price per hours played ratio of all games. Pretty much. Okay. Now we do have some light level bombers over here. And yeah, they're definitely level bombers. Definitely light bombers. So they can bring to battle about 200 pounds of general purpose bombs. So definitely not anything amazing. The maneuverability of the airframe is only 17. Their maximum altitude is 23,000 feet. Not exactly great. Yeah, gun value is 6. They lack armor. These things would be shot down very, very easily. Okay. So what we're going to do then is... Well, it's difficult. Naval attack 100 feet, straight firm. We could give it a go. We could give it a go. It's one of these things of, it might be worthwhile to do that. But the Japanese will have A6M2 in this area. So part of me thinks, is it worth it to actually redeploy them somewhere else? Though their range is definitely lacking, we do not have the ability to give them drop tanks here at the moment. No, yes, they lack drop tanks entirely, it seems. No, standard range, let's see. Potentially. Not 100 feet. Aye. And we could go with about, we'll say about 10,000 feet. They're not dive bombers, I don't believe. Aye. Are they classed as level bombers? Yes, they're classed as level bombers. Well, light bomber. So we'll go with about 10,000 feet then. We could go out there on naval attack. The question is it better to have them remain here, where they may be subject to actual attacks, or do we send them out where we don't have information? What I'm going to do for the time being is actually keep them... No, it's not a dive bomber. Indeed. 10,000 feet, they won't hit the ocean. Fair enough. We can definitely try at lower altitudes then. Okay, what we're going to do for the time being then is we aren't going to commit to battle right now. The reason is I'd rather have some additional information first and foremost. Though the question is, we might miss a ample opportunity. Never mind, they're only bloody, yeah, they're light bombers, they'll be fine. So we'll get out there. We'll set about 20% of the squadron to search. Well, then again, no, we'll set about 10% of the squadron on search here. We'll place them down at, let's say... Now, with the Japanese, we don't have to worry as much about their actual AA, as it's not as effective. So we'll go for about 5,000 feet, potentially. Oh, no, we'll go with less, actually. I think... I mean, we could go with, like, 100 feet. That would definitely be quite handy for the accuracy there. What's their naval and low naval skill? Yes, definitely something to take a look at. Right. Naval bomb. Right, naval bomb is really, really poor, actually. Yeah, that's pretty poor. Very poor. Oh, dear. Yes, low naval. It's a little bit better. They're just not going to be very competent, are they? So I think it's definitely a case of numbers. But we'll go for about... we'll go for broke then. We'll try 100 feet when as suggested. Yeah, set them to 100 feet. The commander of the squadron is actually not too bad. Air command is actually not too bad there, 74. Okay, so what we're going to do then is set them up an arc as well. So we'll go for about, what was it? 60 feet, sorry, 60 degrees to 70 degrees, I think. We'll see how that looks. Okay, of course the range is significantly shorter, so probably better off patrolling just this area here. So we'll move that about 90 degrees, maybe to 90, 100. That covers this area. I mean, this is it. We don't have a huge arc here. I could put... Right, okay, we'll put 20% of the squadron on. That actually will allow us to sufficiently patrol this area. So if we take a look at this by pressing Z, you can see that we do have our flow planes over here running reconnaissance. Then we'll have our naval... Well, basically our light bombers over here running naval attack in just this area. Okay. Now what we're going to do then is take a look at what remains in the area. I do have some A-20 Warhawks, sorry, A-20 Havocs and some P-40E Warhawks. The Warhawks are actually fairly competent fighters. They're not the most maneuverable. They do have a decent gun value, very decent gun value. 650 cals is actually rather respectable. They do have armor, but their maneuverability is definitely what lets them down. Would your aviation support at Port Moresby maybe send some air groups? Yeah. It's not phenomenal. I believe we do have some additional. So we have 23 here, 18 required. Do we have anything in the area that we could ship over there to actually aid? So take a look at our active ships. I'm going to take a look at auxiliaries. I do have an aircraft tender over here. The Tangier. Which is in Noumea right now. So definitely quite a few days away, but it could be done. In Noumea we do have some Catalinas. I think what we're going to do then is take our Tangier over here. So what we'll do is form a new task force. Support. Remain on station. Oh dear. Right, that's good then. Right, so what we'll do then is we'll send Vitangia. She isn't carrying any float planes at the moment. So we'll have her sent to the north and to Port Moresby. Of course, we'll obviously edit her movements as she goes on, basically make sure she is safe. I'm going to burn our fuel off here. The reason is the scenario is timed, we only have a couple of days. So we do need to make sure we actually get there in the area to try and gain the maximum benefit. She may not be required, but I'd like to make sure she'd arrive, and then at least we'll have that additional support there. Let's see. I think we could get away with basing the Warhawks over here. Now, I could base the Havocs. Let's take a look at the range of the Havocs over here. Okay, their range is similarly rather poor. What is the quality of the pilots? It's not great. Obviously, their naval bombing's better. Their low naval isn't great. Definitely not the most encouraging results. Though, of course, they do bring to bear a much heavier payload. They do also have armor. Maneuverability isn't that much worse either, and durability is definitely better. It's actually quite a nice aircraft. It's just a shame that its range is rather short. But this is actually, yeah, that hurt. Reduced loads are basically if they're attacking at maximum range. It's only 2 500-pound bombs. But that's still £1,000 or £2,000. That's very nice. Right, bases Havocs at Port Moresby. When the enemy task force comes close, they can unleash Havoc. That feels like a pun. Yeah, 100 feet. Okay, we'll go with that then. Let's see what we can manage. So we'll see if we can actually make it to Port Moresby, and we can. So transfer our aircraft to Port Moresby. Ideally, all 12 of them will remain operational. Yes, all 12 of them are operational. Yep, there we go. Okay. Now, we do have the same range here. What I could do is, as we have 12, we also have 12 here. I could double up the actual patrol here. Let's see. We have the 11th Squadron, 23rd Squadron, as well as 3rd and 8th. That does sound rather nice. I mean, skip bomber was a bloody devastating tactic. Okay, I think I might patrol the actual same area. I'd imagine we'll see activity in this area, considering how close it is to Naval. There will be possibly forces here. The good news is if we at least keep our actual aircraft out there, it will ideally stop them from being destroyed at the actual airfield itself, should we be subjected to airfield attack. Or at least lighten the damage. So let's take a look at what our airfield's looking like over here then at Moresby. Okay, just click on the actual airfield itself. There we go. Oh yes, we can definitely handle additional aircraft here. Yeah, that's not too bad. Ah, right, okay. Now, these Warhawks can actually use drop tanks. We may be able to use them with drop tanks over here at Port Moresby. So what we'll do then is... Actually, let's see. Drop tanks. Now we do have the range to make it to Port Moresby. So we are going to overload the airfield to a small degree. But it would be worthwhile to have these actual planes here in the area. So let's take a look then. One of them was damaged on the way over. She's going to need about a day then to recover that damage. There's a little bit of fatigue on the aircraft. Nothing much. Now currently we are running 30% combat air patrol. What I'm going to do then is instead run escort. Entirely escort. Now our aircraft, our bombers are actually running low at about 100 feet, which is very, very low. The Warhawk, yeah, the maneuverability is awful. So what we'll do then is we'll run at about 10,000 feet. We may want to actually lower that potentially. That may help with coordination. We might go with about 5,000 feet actually. What do you guys think? Do you think 10,000 feet is too... Yeah, I think that's probably too distant, isn't it? Considering the bombers were down by 100 feet. Yeah, I think we'll go for about 5,000 feet. Even that could be subject to change. But I think 5,000 feet's okay. We'll cover the bombers. I'd imagine we'll probably get jumped on by Japanese fighters, but at the end of the day, our maneuverability isn't great. We're saying about 10,000 feet there. Interesting. Okay, we'll try 10,000 feet then. We can see how it goes. Yeah, the altitude advantage. I feel that will get jumped regardless, but we'll see how we go. Okay, 10,000 feet sounds good. Saying that, I could go with about 15,000 feet, but is that going to be too distant for the actual forces I'm meant to be protecting? I'd say so. So we'll stick to about 10,000 feet here. The squadron commander isn't the best. Unfortunately, I can't replace him. So we'll have to just manage. If needed, send to 15k. Well, this is it. I mean, the maneuverability 10 to 15 is the same, so I guess we'll go with 15,000 then. We might as well try that additional altitude. It may help us. Okay, so that's all of our aircraft actually deployed to Port Moresby. We do have a 13th Royal Australian Air Force base over here, but I lack the means to move it right now. So if we take a look further south, then we can see that we do have additional base forces. We do have some additional aircraft. Now, yes, that's fantastic. We do have some additional A-20 Havocs. We do have some B-25B Mitchells. Their range is actually much, much better at 12 hexes. So we're looking at about 480 miles there. Now, Cooktown doesn't obviously have a Air Force base. We do have one over here, but yeah, let's see. 12 hexes then would be about from here to here. The mechanics that Paul Moresby will be working overtime, but they'll be rewarded in the end. Yeah, I'd imagine so. I'd imagine you'd rather work a couple days double time than being in some kind of concentration camp or some camp of some nature. I'd say that's definitely a given. Now the shame is I could move a base force over here, an actual Air Force base. The issue is, just the fact that we don't have a rail line connection, they can't move very quickly. If we take a look by pressing Y, we can see here that we do have rail lines connecting, which is basically these white lines. So a grey line indicates higher density rail, a white line indicates lower density, I do believe. Though actually I think I got that mixed up. I think a white line is the high density. This looks... we'll just call it rail for the time being. Some of the different map mods make it a little bit harder to tell between high density and low density at times. We take a look at our road density, we can see here the darker colours. Actually, I would say that is a high density rail. Yeah, so I'm going to say that is the high density rail, considering that it is pretty high density road as well. That would make sense. Darker the colour of the road, the higher the density. Though I could have got it the wrong way round with rails. We know there's a big line here anyway. So I do have the 5th US Bomber Command over here. That is definitely quite handy. Right, so that's 14 hexes away from Townsville. I do wish we had another airfield closer that actually was on the rail lines and did have an actual Air Force base. We could move the 13th. They do provide some actual support, so that is worthwhile. Now let's see. How many miles is that? That's 138 miles. Now the actual terrain here is classed as rough. But we do have roads. Yeah, they're not going to make it any time soon, are they? So it's not worth moving them, I would say. Okay, we do have Bomber Command over here. We are going to give them torpedoes. Yeah, I mean, that's it. The battle would be over before they arrived. Make sure they're armed and ready to go. Just in case. I could build up the amount of support over here. Aviation support, basically, so we'll do that. It's going to take about 2 days for them to move, but they should be able to move in time. Ideally, their presence will be useful. Okay. We'll move an additional base force as well. Just the engineer unit. The other, well, HQ can stay here at Townsville. What we'll do then is, let's see, what do we have here? 16 aviation support. We do have the benefit of a level 2 airfield, so let's make use of that. I do have Catalinas. Their range leaves much to be desired. Yeah, PYY 5A Catalinas. Though, let's see. We should actually be able to use torpedoes if we base over here, so we'll do that. I'll base the actual patrol craft, as at the end of the day they are capable of launching torpedo attacks. Yes, notice they do have access to torpedoes now, due to the fact that they are in proximity to the Townsville 5th headquarters. So that's good. 2 of them were damaged, however, and they'll be out for 2 days. That's a shame. But we'll make do. We'll put the entire squadron on search. And let's see. How does 30 degrees look? Yes. Need to alter that then. So potentially 60 degrees could do us. Or 50... We'll try 50 to 70, see how that looks. Okay. That's actually pretty good coverage of this area here in particular. Now. Yes, 100% of them will be out searching. I could change that to naval attack, but once we do have information, I could consider that as an actual legitimate option. The airfield here. Let's see. Right. Oh yeah, we can definitely handle more aircraft. That's good to see. We'll move the Havocs and the Mitchells here then. Right, move up. Okay. And move the second squadron over here from Rockhampton. There we go. We'll move them up. Now, the Mitchells actually do have some fairly decent range. I mean, this is, yeah, maximum range, but that is potentially possible. 11 hexes, that's nice. The Mitchells don't. I could potentially move something else here, but of course we lack a actual airfield over here. Had we had one, we could have based actual aircraft here. The patrol boat could base here, but for now we'll have to just set this for the moment. Additional 2 Mitchells when damage their enemy transit, though they're only out for a day, so that's fine. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll give them the same patrol as the Catalinas, but what we'll do is obviously change their mission. But I'm just going to set them to the same actual search arc. I can't actually do that. So, 50-70. Okay. Yes, they will do a good job in Port Moresby, I'd agree. We'll put about 20% of them out. So, 50-70 was it? There we go. We'll run down at, let's see, low naval. Naval bombing. Yeah, we'll run low altitudes. 100 feet then. Set all level bombers. We'll take a look at our Mitchells then. How the pilots. 31, 35. There's not much in between it, but I'd say we'll go with 100 feet again. Of course, have them run their range at maximum. Now, of course, these Havocs are just basically wasting their time, but we'll move them in closer soon. Okay. What else do we have available then here in Australia? I do have something else over here then in Brisbane. We do have 18 P-40E Warhawks. Now, how far could they make it? They could make it to Townsville. That could be a good idea. Well, actually, I could actually transfer them over here. But for the time being, we'll transfer them to Townsville. And then we'll transfer them to actual front line soon enough. Okay. The pilots... yeah, not exactly great. I have myself some additional B-25 Mitchells. Now these are fantastic. So let's base them also over here then, far to the north. We'll take a look at the resistance nets turn towards Port Moresby, then I might base these Mitchells as well there. Okay. Actually not bad. Seems they weren't damaged. That's very good news. Right, set all level bombers to the same options here. That's what we'd like to see. Now we'll move further down here. Yep, I am using a modded map here, which is why the game looks phenomenal. We do have an additional submarine over here, S-40. Yep, electric boat, S-18. Not the best. She's quite slow, quite short-ranged. Let's see, what do we have in terms of fuel over here to the north? I don't think we'll worry too much about fuel. Yeah, that's plenty of fuel. What we'll do then is we'll have her move up to Townsville. Well, I suppose I could do. We'll have her move to Townsville at full speed and then refuel. Yeah, it looks fantastic. We do have a good couple of mods here, actually. If you head over to my Discord, which is Wonder Machine, which you can actually find a link to on just any of my videos. If you look at any of my videos on YouTube, you'll find a link there. If you go down to the War Pacific section, under pins, you'll find all the map mods. We have additional mods as well, which is quite nice. It changes some of the art. Okay. The Australia. Very handy. Now, I think beyond that, what do we have here? I have the Australia Command. We have a Coastal Defence Force and a headquarters. Beyond that, nothing of too particular much use. Right, I do have some PYY 5s over here at Numea. I could move them up, actually. That might be a very good idea. The question is, where would we move them? I could even base them over here to Milne Bay, should they actually be able to make it and have them run random. It could be dangerous. They can definitely make it, I'd imagine. Yeah, they can definitely make it. You think to Townsville? And I'd risk this, but let's see. We should have a better base somewhere. Yeah, that's true about the aviation support. They could land there, but we need that aviation support. So we'll go Townsville then, as suggested. The range is 20 hexes, which is fairly good. Then at least have some P-40E Warhawk support as well. Right, so we'll set them up on a patrol pattern. I'm going to go with about 50-70. Range is 6,000, sorry, altitude 6,000. Put them entirely out there. Ah, right, I see. Okay. I think 10 degrees to the north as well. Yeah, that looks fantastic. So we'll run patrol and naval bombers over here. That's looking great. Luganville could actually be very good later. Right now, let's see. Where's Luganville? There we go. So right now, it's not coming to too much play, but it will do in the future depending on how things go. So we do have a Tangier moving out there. I do have the base forces here. I don't have much else in the way of assets, other than what we've already committed. So the main meat is now going to come into play, and that is going to be our naval forces over here. So what we'll do then, we do have Task Force 44, commanded by Rear Admiral Chris. We have the Australia Heavy Cruiser. Yes, the 8-inch guns. These are actually fairly formidable guns. It's a fairly well-armed ship. The armament, well, the armament is quite nice. The armor's not too bad either. Yeah, those task forces across the sea are more than enough to mess with the Japanese plans. Absolutely. We do have a search plane as well. Decent range there. Hobart. A Perth class. Actually, quite impressive amounts of armor there. It doesn't make the largest amount of difference, but having additional armor is nice. It does help the survivability. And then we have the Whipple. Okay. So we make here at max 30 knots as the task force will go by the speed of a slowish ship. Now, I think what we may want to do is have them actually meet up with a combined American carrier force. What I'm actually going to do here is, indeed. What I'm going to do here is actually deploy them out towards the Coral Sea, towards this area. The reason for that is we have the benefit of naval support, well, aviation support for our naval assets. We could move to interrupt the landings at Tulagi, but the main thing here I want to do is stop the invasion of Port Moresby and identify the, well, the threats to Australia, the Japanese carriers. So what we'll do then is we'll set up our aircraft over here. So we have a Lexington-class carrier. Indeed. So we are carrying a squadron of F4, F3 Wildcats. BF2. We have 2 squadrons of SPD-3 Dauntlesses. I mean, they're not exactly amazing. They're okay. They do carry a respectable bomb load. Yeah, it's a fairly respectable bomb load. They do have armor. It's just, I do like something with the actual range. Actually, no, but again, it does actually beat the Val, the D3A1 Val. So no, I'd say this is actually the superior dive bomber here at this moment in the war. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, we'll combine the actual carrier task force. It's nice to have something with armor. What's their defensive capabilities? Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'd say the SPD doesn't have the longest range, but I like it. It delivers a pretty heavy bomb on target. It's a very nice dive bomber. I think it definitely outshines that of the Devastator. Yeah, the Devastator is pretty poor. I mean, that is a torpedo bomber that has pretty terribly small range. Only 5 hexes. So 200 nautical miles out. Sounds better than it really is. Definitely. So what is the average experience of our actual crews here? Okay, so average experience of the pilots is actually pretty good there, 85. Morale's actually pretty good as well. They do have 2 fatigue, but these F4Fs are actually really quite good. Yeah, this is actually a fairly good squadron. Let's take a look at the maneuverability bands. So we have 10 to 15 and 16 to 20. What we're going to do is actually operate at 20,000 feet due to that it doesn't make a difference here. Send them on full speed to Cairns, or Cooktown. My Discord, you would find on my channel. My channel is XTRG. So if you put that in on YouTube, you'll be able to find it. If you head over, you'll find the latest video is from the War Pacific play by email, the one I'm playing against the Historical Gamer, which I definitely recommend checking out. You'll find a link to the Discord there, and to the community at large. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to run... I'm going to say... I'm going to go with about 80%... No, actually. We'll go 50-50. So we'll run 50% combat air patrol, and we'll run 50% rest. Now, they're on escort, so... Should the bombers not fly out, they'll remain here to rest on board the carriers. Should the actual bombers fly out, they'll actually go escort. We'll have them run at 20,000 feet then. I may want to reconsider it due to the fact of coordination, but I think this is probably for the best. Now, I don't have the capability to replace the commanders, but he's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Now, the Dauntless. Now, 20% of the squadron is out here searching. Which is alright, that's not bad, actually. We'll take a look at the quality of the planes and the pilots. Okay, so this is a dive bomber. So, I think we want them to actually... Is it 10,000 feet for dive bombers? I do believe. I can't remember what we want for an actual dive attack. I think it doesn't particularly matter as they'll perform a dive attack. But I don't want them to perform a low-level bombing run. So I think 10,000 feet might be the correct altitude here. Yeah, 10,000 feet. I mean, the actual... well, but again, the torpedo bombers could run search. I mean, that 5 hex range isn't amazing, but it's still okay. Yeah, we'll run at 10,000 feet here. And we'll have the entire squadron, so all of the SPD-3 Dauntlesses will be out there. So this is the thing, I'm not used to American aircraft. I generally play Japanese. It's just strange. I'm not used to their capabilities as such. Okay, let's take a look at the Devastators. Now, we do have the 22-inch Mark 13 torpedo or 1,000 pounds of bombs. That's still not bad. I mean, 1,000 pound of bombs is 1,000 pound of bombs. We are playing the Allied today after all, aren't we? No armor though, which is a shame. Speed is very low. Okay, so what we'll do then is just... We'll put them out to really search more than anything. So we'll say about 30% of the squadron is on search. Indeed. Yeah, the 1,000 pound bombs are devastating. So when you're not on the naval attack, I just want you to... Well, actually, yeah, naval attack and then you'll search. I'm actually going to up that to about 40%. How many float planes do we actually have here in the force? We do have 8 of them. Their range isn't too great, so I think we'd rather augment that. Yeah. Okay. I do want the float planes out... Let's say 8, or not on ASW. We'll say about 80% of the time. So 80% of the squadron will be out, 20% will be resting. Yes. 6,000 feet, max range. There we go. Now, the second squadron I'm going to have run night operations. Basically, they'll fly out at night. It's always good to have something of a variation, just to make sure you cover all bases. Same altitude. They're a difficult job here, but it's for the best. Okay, so in reality, that'll increase the amount of planes out there. Now, I do have an oiler. Neosho. Love the camouflage. I don't believe the camouflage was accurate. Yeah, increase that detection level, which is the main point. Now, these oilers could obviously give us underway replenishment. Though our fuel is not an issue at the moment. What I'll do then is actually transfer... I could transfer the destroyer, the Sims. She does have a good amount of AA. The fact of the radar is very handy as well. What I'm going to do here then is actually have the Neosho. Non-amphibious replenishment is what I'm looking for. I'm actually going to have you run out of the area. The reason for this is I want them nearby but not within danger. So I'm going to have you move over here to Rockhampton. I just don't want her to be in the danger zone. I'll transfer Sims over here, as I do need the maximum amount of firepower I can bring to bear. Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll have the same settings over here. Squadron is slightly inferior in terms of actual experience, but they're still very capable. So we'll run 20,000 feet here, escort duties, yep. Okay, Dauntless dive bombers, 10,000 feet, yep, that's what we want. And just rest afterwards. There we go. The torpedo bombers, 6,000 feet, and 40% search. There we go. We'll go to our float planes. Actually, how many do we have here? So we have 16. That's actually really quite good numbers. That's very impressive, actually. So all I'll do then is go over here to carrier aircraft. So we'll go here to float planes. So we have 4 squadrons. That's quite nice. What we'll do then is we'll run, let's say, 2 of them at night. As we'll obviously increase our numbers over here. And well, we have the actual torpedo bombers running search as well. So yeah, we'll run 2 squadrons at night. It'd be quite nice to actually have some kind of detection there. Okay. That's what I like. Make sure 20% of the squadron then rests. These guys run just entirely search. Well, with 20% rest, of course, on naval search. And there we go. That's what I like to see. Okay. Now, what do I have here in the area? It seems we do have another oiler. The Tippecanoe. So what we'll do then is perform the same action, have her run towards... well, towards Rockhampton. I'm going to take a risk here by sending them without escort, but we do need them to actually make it here to Rockhampton and out of the danger zone. What I'm also going to do is set their threat threshold to low, so basically they will be more likely to retreat. Should they even have the ability to retreat, if they are engaged, they're engaged and bloody buggered. But I don't want them in the area, and I do want that actual destroyer on hand. Fuel is not going to be an issue. Okay. Clear this. What we're going to do then is clear that. Have them meet Task Force 1. Well, Task Force 11. I can have Task Force 11 meet 15, but I'd rather have information first before we engage in battle. So I'll have them actually move away from the actual battle area for the time being. I won't have them react. I want the aircraft to be used. Now we do have Yorktown. We have Portland, which is a very respectable heavy cruiser. Her armor isn't as amazing as that of the Australia here at the belt. She does have some fairly decent deck and tower armor. She comes with 4 search aircraft. Her gun's actually fairly effective. Yes, the Northampton class. Similar, but she has less deck armor. 2 from Northamptons. We do have a New Orleans class. She does have a phenomenal amount of belt armor here. That's actually quite nice. It's not too shy of battleship level, to be honest. Armed with comparable weapons here. Yep, she's a very nice ship. And then, of course, we have a Yorktown, Anderson, Sims class. Yep. And then we have a Mahan. The radar is what makes the Allies just so dangerous. Okay. Torpedoes, yep, definitely good here. I think certain Japanese carriers do carry more torpedoes. I think a Kagi carries maybe 48. Not entirely sure, I'll have to double check that one. But that's looking quite good. That's a good, strong, bloody force there. So what we'll do then is have Woden assigned over here. Increases our AA, as well as ASW, basically anti-submarine warfare capabilities, which is something that's going to be really quite nice. Okay, Tippecanoe is going to move. So what we'll do then, Task Force 11, where do we want you to head? I'm going to have you head on a course such as this at the moment. Now let's see, I could burn here at full speed. I think we might make full speed and actually head for this area. To south of Toluca, basically. Right, full speed. Yeah, we'll head south of Toluca, basically to the north of, well, east of Townsville. About there. Though, I could be, right, what we'll do actually is just a little bit further to the south. How does the direct path look? Right, that's fine. What I am going to do though is actually set in a waypoint here. I'm going to have them head to the north first, just so the other task force can actually find them. Will they join there? Right, notice. Yeah, notice the fact that they'll join them much sooner. Oh, didn't the Japanese have only the Hosho? I think it's either Hosho or Shoho. Yeah, no, that'd be rather impressive. But we definitely need to coordinate our forces and concentrate them. Now, I do have a Heavy Cruise Australia over here. She'd definitely be welcome amongst the American forces here, so we'll have them move in. It would also be good because we could actually have them potentially detach and aid Port Moresby if necessary. Okay. Now, first priority is going to be the landing forces over here. Second priority is really going to be dealing with Tulagi. But one must come before the other. Let's take a look at the actual weather prediction here at the moment. Well, actually, let's take a look at the weather as it currently is. So we can see here, thunderstorms over Task Force 18. Task Force 14, extreme overcast. We do have moderate rain here over 16. Light rain over Moresby. Okay, our submarines, we do have overcast. Weather is partial cloud here. Heavy rain. Right. We'll take a look at the actual prediction. So what I can do is, yeah, here we go. If we press the free key, it gives you sort of prediction based on the actual. Yeah, it's a very general prediction. So it's saying here that potentially overcast weather, partly cloudy, I think. Let's see. Yes, partly cloudy, overcast. Right. Okay. I think we moved all of our assets here. Yeah, that would be about it. So what we're going to do then is go ahead and run the turn now. I do not believe there's anything else here. There's no operational reports, there's no other information to take a gander at. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the game. Ideally we'll see... I mean, we might even see some success from our actual naval bombers. I'm not going to hold out too much hope, but it would be quite nice. Okay, this is where it goes. Well, we'll see a lot of important things happen. Right, our task forces merge there. Right. Our forces are being detected here. Yep, Japanese aircraft, Japanese float plane, submarines over here. Right. Seems our actual patrol boats have spotted Japanese carriers potentially. Now, they may be here. Right, we see a heavy cruiser here. I don't know what we see here. 2 ships sighted. Yeah, exactly. They would bloody hurt. Right, we're aware of Japanese aircraft over here at the base of Ley. We see here Naval aircraft. Not seeing anything else right now. Our submarines are actually pretty close here. They may actually proceed to intercept this force. Now, PG. That's interesting. That is a patrol gunboat, I believe. Right, so we might actually be misidentifying a patrol boat. Which is interesting. So I think that would actually indicate the fact that that might be the landed forces there. Right, interestingly, we don't actually see any combat. That is an interesting one. But we have seen information here. What do I have from signal intelligence? Okay. The 8th base force is located at Naval. 4th base force is located at a truck. Radio transmissions detected at Tulagi. Heavy volume of radio transmissions detected at 106.127. Naval. 106.127, 106.127, 106.127, yep, 106.127. I'm getting a hint here that 106.127 sees heavy activity. 129. Actually, no, it's 106.127, which is about here, actually. Yeah, 3 reports of heavy volume, and then an additional report of radio activity. So I've got a feeling that something's definitely in this area. I think what we're going to do then is actually take the S-44 and just alter her patrol patterns for this moment. Have her move into this area here. And then I'm going to have you move to the south. Right, you patrol here for a day. What I'll do then is move through that area. Okay, full speed. It could be the invasion force. Right, I do have them here. We should engage this turn. I do have my additional submarines over here. Now, they've lingered here a day, so they should move to the south. I'm going to keep them on this patrol pattern just in case the force actually moves. So they're moving southwest, actually. So in this direction, roughly. I'm interested to see what the 2 ships are here. I don't know much else about that. We are seeing at least 4 bombers over here. The ships might be attempting to move through here, north of Tulagi. Well, Tuluga, sorry. Tuluga. Okay, the Oilers are moving towards Rockhampton. Right, we'll see the heavy cruisers actually merge here. Now, this is interesting. What's the range here? Maybe a picket line force. That could be quite good. Right. So we're looking at about 8 hexes of range. Now, the dive bombers could actually potentially make that. Maximum range is 8. They could make it with about 500 pounds of bombs. Well, bomb really, 500 pound bomb. That could be worthwhile. I could move... well, what is their heading? Do we have a heading? Their heading is southwest. I think we'll move towards Tuluga. Though not at full speed. I don't want to burn too much fuel. I want the Australian forces to actually catch up as well. So we'll move a couple hexes over here then. There we go. Mission speed. Preserve that fuel. Right, we'll catch up. Yeah. Submarines are in place. Right, the Catalinas. Did probably pick them up. Severe storms in this area. Right. Bombers over this way. 11 fighters here at least, 4 bombers, 7 auxiliary. I'm not seeing anything else right now. The weather report is still partly cloudy. Right, partly cloudy, partly cloudy. Okay, let's take a look at the operations report. So, Coast Watcher reports over here. 1 ship at WWII. 3 ships at Naval. 1 at Torokina. Yes, I can see here the Australia detected by a Japanese patrol at 105. Task Force 14 detected by a Japanese patrol. Devastator sighted in report 3 Japanese ships at 105, 143. Speed at 11, moving east. Oil slick here. Right, report submarine 106, 143. 96117. 97130. So the 5th squadron has changed to the 146th squadron. Right, some devices have been upgraded over here. That's good to see. Let's take a look at our ground forces. Okay. I think that's fine. I think things are moving along quite nicely. The first turn does take a little bit to set up, but things are running along quite nicely now. So we'll go ahead and proceed with an additional turn here. What's our progress on the fortifications of Moresby? Okay, so we're seeing about 16% progress here. That's quite good, man. So if we assume 16% per turn at current rates... So we'll be done there. Right, so give or take 6 to 6.5-ish days, maybe about 7 days. We'll see an additional level of fortification. It's going to take a little while. Well, it's going to take a little while. But that level 2 fortification will be nice. These men obviously do need to hold. Okay, I'm going to have them just run rest and train in for the time being. It could be dangerous, but I don't think they'd be able to make it. So a little bit of training here is probably going to be quite nice. Especially as we may see our troops hit by bombers. So we would obviously want to get rid of our disruption and fatigue. Rest our men, basically. So, we'll go ahead and move on into the next turn. We do have some reports of Japanese submarines in the area. We don't have any actual sightings here to see, but they will be there somewhere. Let's take a look. Moving on into the next turn. Right, the Japanese occupy that base there. Right, we are seeing additional ships out in the water. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that could be potentially carriers. It's a very dangerous situation here because the actual engagement zone is very, very small. I mean, it's a large open area of water. Shoe Island, some large masses of land. But in reality, this is it's very close. There's a lot of units in this area. Okay. The Australian ships have caught up in the night then. That's good news. Right, we did see some Japanese ships just off the coast over here. Now, our submarine may not be able to actually intercept them, but I think our bombers could potentially intercept them. We actually don't know what they are. We saw 2 ships supposedly sighted, but we don't know if that is a landing forces. We don't know really what that could be made up of. We had no further information there. So it will be rather interesting. Okay, air operations. Right, we've lost sight of the enemy here, which is actually rather impressive. Okay, 10 ships. Turbulence of water. Right, we're spotting the enemy now. Yep, we are seeing ships here. We are seeing ships. Airstrikes. It seems they were able to bypass our submarines here. Right, there's additional ships off here. Yeah. So it's quite handy when you have bad weather over your carriers. It does actually give you some protection. Okay, so we do see the first air raid here. So we have... oh my god. This could be the landing force. Yeah, that is a lot of Dauntless bombers. And these are some big bombs. Explosion below deck. It's very interesting to see that the actual landing forces did not have any aerial cover. Yeah, she's not having a good day. Oh, absolutely not. I don't think we've seen a single plane damaged here. Yeah, invasion's cancelled for today. Cruiser mine layer there. Ouch. Wow, massive explosive damage. Canberra Maru. Yeah. I do wonder where the Japanese carriers are, because they've failed at their job here. The landings have been absolutely devastated. Ooh. Magazines ordered flooded, yep. That's looking pretty rough there. There are some very accurate bombing there. I mean, you can see here, only 1 bomb hit on most ships. On fire, heavy fires on fire. The Kansai Maru, 5 bomb hits there. You imagine each of those bombs is maybe, what, £1,000, £500 depending on the reduced load. I'd say that's well within range, so that's a £1,000 bomb. So you say £5,000 of bombs hitting you. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna leave more than a mark. Heavy fires, heavy damage. Heavy fires, heavy damage, 2 bomb hits there. Aso Maru, 5 hits, and is sunk. Hagoromo Maru was actually undamaged, the only one of the task force here undamaged, as far as we can tell. The cruiser mine layer, Sugaru, 2 bomb hits, she's on fire. Kagu Maru, 1 bomb hit, on fire. Canberra Maru, 4 bomb hits, heavy fires, heavy damage. Yeah, the AMC Fumi Maru, 1 bomb hit and is sunk. So 2 ships there, sunk immediately. I think there will be more. And just look at these casualties here. Those are some horrendous casualties. 3,575 casualties reported here. 42 squads destroyed, 76 disabled. 65 non-combatant squads destroyed, 99 disabled. 6 engineers destroyed, 17 disabled. 79 guns destroyed, 13 disabled. Hello there, Richard of York. How you doing, my man? Just in time to actually see the Japanese landing force here just being absolutely annihilated by SPD-3 Dauntlesses. Yes, good luck to them to take, good luck taking Port Moresby. Good luck. Right, what do we have here then? Right, okay, this might actually be the light carrier. Right, we see the Yabari. Ooh, she's been hit. Mutsuki. Right, we have your escort over here. We have an... Yep, Mutsuki again. Right, we have our Devastators. Can they actually land? Right, okay, 500-pound bombs. So it seems that it's sent to their range here. And we do not have the benefit of torpedoes, but... yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Interesting, it looks like the A-System-2 were in fact too late. So 12 of them were scrambled, but it seems they just didn't actually arrive. I mean, they would have inflicted some heavy damage here on the SPDs. And of course, as well as the TBD-1s. But that was pretty lucky, the fact that they didn't get annihilated. Yabari, 1 hit. Mutsuki, 1 hit. Yayoi, 1 hit. The Oiti actually made it out there with no hit. But these are some big hits. Yeah. Interesting. 0 planes not yet engaged, 12 being recalled. So they have been recalled, actually. Heavy smoke from the fires here obscuring the light cruiser Yabari. Heavy smoke from the fires obscuring the Yayoi. Good hits. Absolutely good hits there. Now what we can actually do is divert our bombers to actually focus on this area. Yeah. Good night, sweetheart, there. Oh, yeah. I don't think we need to worry about the landings. We'll keep on building up the amount of fortifications just in case. But that's, that's a pretty heavy blow. Okay, so let's see how we can actually capitalize on that. So of course we do still have... Actually no, it looks as if they're still moving in. We have here 10 ships. Is this the force that we actually did hit? Interesting. No, this was... Right, okay, these are the forces we did hit. Okay, we are seeing here 4 ships. Right, we are seeing carriers over here. So Shokaku and Zuikaku may be here just off the coast of... was this Green... I don't know what the name of this island is. But yeah, they definitely did fail their job. The Shoho may be around here. She may be here, actually. Right, we've actually not seen too much in the way of Japanese air activity. We did see 12-0 scrambled, but of course they didn't actually join battle. So let's take a look then. We'll actually divert our bombers. And say another 30 degrees to the south here. Right, move us along 20 degrees. Yes, cover this area. Actually, an additional 10 degrees. Perfect. Okay. Actually, a little bit more. Almost right. 120, 130 perhaps? Well, then again, we're probably better off covering this area. They will be coming through that. So we'll actually have them. Now what I'm going to do is actually have the entirety of the actual light bombers here. Well, actually no, 10% out. Low level run. 20% out. Yeah, we can actually run this quite nicely. You had the luck. Yeah. That bad weather is really quite nice. We might actually run it a little bit further out. 140, 150 perhaps? Yes, 140, 150 looks really solid. What we'll do then is set the other level bombers to do the same. So we do, of course, have the Havocs, which are obviously running... Yeah. Now, I do have these planes over here for escort duties, which we are going to run. Okay. Over here we do have the B-25 C Mitchells. They are set up to run bombing attacks in this area. What we'll do then is, let's see. Kokoda Trail. That sounds rather interesting, actually. I can imagine that'd be a hell of an experience. Let's see. Right. I may cover just this area here. Though, we'll hit them before they arrive. Yeah. They should move here. What I'll do then is... Right, these Havocs aren't going to make it there. What I'll do is actually transfer them to Port Moresby. They may have a better chance than at least doing something. Okay, set all the... Well, not these guys. Here we go. Set you up. So if I take a look there by pressing Z, yeah, you can see a lot of activity here. And that's a travel from Port Moresby to Boona. That would be an amazing trip. Honestly, if you go, do take me with you. I can be like some kind of... I don't know, you can be the organ grinder, I'll be the monkey. How's that sound? Okay, one of them was left behind. We do have the B-25Bs. C and B model, actually. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll have one run 60 to 70, then one 60 to, well, 50 to 60. I think we'll cover this area quite nicely. Take a look at that again. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Now we're also running the patrols from Townsville. What I'll do is, let's see, I could actually base additional Warhawks. Potentially here, but this is probably going to be the area to base them. The airfield is... yeah, they're somewhat overburdened. They can still handle additional aircraft, so I'm going to actually move additional aircraft. The reason being, it's probably for the best. They'll not have a great time. Obviously, if they're damaged, they're going to find it harder to get back into the action. But I think I'd rather have additional fighter aircraft here to actually protect our bombers. So, yep, we'll have... What I'll do then is run... I really want to run just basically escort. We are going to be out here. Okay, set all fighters. Yeah, 15,000 feet is where we want to be. 16,000 feet, we just lose way too much maneuverability. Way too much. Okay. So Tangier is moving up. Now, how do we want to actually do this? It would be nice to be within range of Port Moresby for that fighter support, even if it is very far away. So we could... I think we'll move here, actually, within range of Port Moresby. I think that'd be a good idea. Of course, it's going to bring us in line with the forces over here, but I think if we can actually head towards fighter support, that would be nice. I can move them full speed. So what we'll do then is we'll look at where we want to be. I do want to avoid the anger of the fleet carriers. If I destroy his forces beforehand, that'd be good. Right. This is looking like a good spot, so head there. Looking solid. The air crews are actually doing very nice. I'd imagine they're flush with success. What I'm going to do actually is set up something like a... Question is, do I run our combat air support? Well, our combat air patrol, sorry, at both of them at 20,000 feet. Actually, I'm going to run them potentially... I'll run this squadron about 15,000 feet. Or even 16. I'll run at, I'll run 15. Hello there, Honorus. How you doing, my friend? Okay, so the Japanese obviously lost quite a lot here so far. If we take a look at ships sunk, we can see here the Fumi Maru and the Aso Maru. We can see here points then, let's see. Wherever you land. Yeah, 12 points there lost in the army, but I mean that was over 3,000 men. They're not going to get them back anytime soon. Now, our oilers are still moving here. What are we looking at in terms of fuel then? That's still plenty amount. I could have one of them actually move towards Townsville. Right, it's a Tangier. You continue to move. We'll take the other oiler here. Instead of Rockhampton, I want you to head towards Townsville. 15 or even 10. Yeah, that's true. What we'll do then is we'll run one at 15,000 feet and then the other squadron at 10. Well, this is it. I mean, it's a very interesting story. I mean, I don't know anything more than what I've heard on the forum itself. But from what I can understand, he is in some kind of protection program. So, I mean, I don't want to say anything else than that, because at the end of the day, I don't want to, like... I don't know. It's one of these things, isn't it? Right, we'll run down here 15,000 feet. But it's a fantastic mod. He did so much good work. It's a shame, really. I miss him. I think we all do. Yeah, I just hope he's okay. Right. Maybe one day in the future we'll see him again. But until that point... C'est la vie, really. Okay, clear sky, rain. What do we see here for signal intelligence? 104-132, 104-132, 104-132. Right, the 144th Regiment. Rabaul and Ley. Let's see here. This would be 1-1-10. Okay. Yep, if you head over to my Discord, you can actually find a link there. Under Warner Pacific, you'll find basically all of the links to the mods there pinned. Really trying to make sure it's like an area that most people can actually find just everything. Yeah, I just want everything in one area. That's where we want it. Love a good shameless plug. Yeah, those are just some heavy, heavy casualties. The Japanese are not going to recover from that. They just have not got the capabilities now in the area. We've also hit Yubari, Mutsuki, and Yagoi. Interesting to see that we had 12 A6M2 scrambled where they were recalled. It's actually quite fantastic. It's a really handy chat service. Chat service? Messenger service? Something, whatever you want to call it. It's really good. It's actually really handy. After the stream's over, I'll post a link to everything and then you'll be able to find it there. But yeah, we do have a growing community. And a lot of avid Warner Pacific fans. So, let's go ahead and actually take a look at the next turn here. I mean, the forum's always a good place to actually check out as well. A lot of great support there. Some absolute veterans. Okay, let's see here. Thank you very much for that, Lupus. Indeed, Tenno, Haika, Banzai. See, the Coast Watchers are really handy. Basically, it represents like a couple of, I don't know, let's say here, for example, residents of the island that aren't exactly too thrilled with the Japanese occupation. They do try and report some information. Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, S42 there. Oh, yeah. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, S42 there, in for the kill. I mean, that's a torpedo hit. Tatayumiya. The Ruids is not going to go out there. 4 torpedoes launched, 1 torpedo hits, but that's all we need. That's rough. We do have 2 torpedoes. Sorry, 2 submarines in the area as well. Ideally, the second submarine will pick that up. 4-2, hit but no explosion. Second torpedo hits. Explosion below waterline. Third torpedo hits. Yeah, I think Kasuga Maru is probably dead at this point. I don't think she's going to survive that. The first one missed, but that second and third torpedo, yeah, they really did find home. That's rough. Yeah, she probably goes down. See, this is when submarines really come into their own, when they're able to pick off already damaged forces. They definitely excel at hunting down damaged prey. Right, additional hits here. Very nice. Very nice. Right, so we can see here. One torpedo hit. We do see the Chicago Maru hit, of course. Kamikaze Maru. Okay, destroyer minesweeper, actually. 30 additional casualties here. I've actually not taken a look at the combat report. That's something I'd like to look at in the future. Would love to see how that works. Would you recommend it there, Grant? The economic aspect of this game, I haven't been able to find any clear resource to explain to me how you control supply production. Well, to be honest, the Japanese are really the ones with the economic. The Allies, it's definitely simplified. Still, there's still a lot to do. I mean, I genuinely love the Japanese. It's something I'm still learning, but it's so much fun. Right, okay. Ooh. I think these may be the Zeros from the Shoho, potentially. Or at least the light carrier. So we are seeing 19 F4, F3 Wildcats against 21 A6M2 Zeros, 20 A6M2 Zeros. Right, the Zeros are definitely formidable fighters. It seems they have got the drop on us here. All we need to do is actually occupy the fights until we can get our bombers through. I mean, 51 Dauntlesses are going to deliver a hell of a pounding. That's another Zero out of the battle, an additional Zero there. We're actually running the numbers here quite nicely. Yeah, the Wildcats do have the armor, which is definitely going to save their arses. Right, another Zero. Okay, yep. Then another 4 Zeros arrive to the battle. Okay, we actually do see something here. This could be the landing forces. Or what remains of it. No, this is actually... Is this Tangier? That's Tangier. Wow, you really moved fast, haven't you? Right, we do lose a F4F. Okay. Alright, that's interesting. I might have to take a look at that one, actually. Right, I mean, we have lost a few Wildcats here. We just need to make sure our Dauntlesses actually make it through. That's a good number of Zeros knocked out here. They're just dropping due to operational problems. Yep, this is the vanilla game. All that's changed is basically just some graphical aspects, but this is 100% vanilla. Yep, as Lupus says, there are complete overhaul mods such as that Big Babes, Reluctant Admiral. I believe RH Hess is... I'm not too sure if it's a full overhaul. I'm actually quite surprised we made it through, but here we go. Oh my god, this is Shokaku? Wow, okay. Honestly, I didn't think this was Shokaku. Zuikaku. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize they were this close. Right, we need some hits. We need hits ASAP here. Holy crap, I thought this was light carriers. Right, 1,000-pound hit there on Zuikaku. Bloody hell. Well, Zuikaku isn't going to make it to Midway. Jesus. Japanese tanker. It is big, but I don't know about a tanker. There we go, hits on the heavy cruiser. Oof. That is some nasty, nasty damage. I genuinely didn't think we'd see them here. Come on, we need some hits on Shokaku. If we can knock out their flight decks, that would be nice. There we go, Shokaku. Critical damage. Ammo storage explosion! Holy crap, that is a big hit. Wow. Yeah, so just see one of the magazines explode here. That is a colossal hit. Yeah, I just don't think the Japanese are going to be able to pull this one off. Yeah. I mean, even if we lose our dollars on the way back, the damage is done. Yeah. Look at them all. Jesus. Yeah, definitely. That I did not expect. I suppose they must have headed at full speed down here, but that probably wasn't the wisest of moves. But again, I suppose the Japanese are desperate after their landed forces have been utterly devastated. But wow. So I mean, we lose that 5 F4, F3 Wildcats, 9 SPD-3 Dauntlesses, with an additional 1 destroyed by flak. But the enemy has definitely lost out here massively. Shokaku, 1 bomb hit. I mean, even just 1 bomb hit could do very well here. She's got heavy fires going, yeah, she's not having a good time. 2 bomb hits here on Zuikaku, on fire. Haguro, 2 bomb hits on fire. We didn't hit the entirety of the force, we didn't hit them many times, but just these hits alone will be worthwhile. I believe it was Shokaku that did have a magazine explosion, and a magazine explosion is a phenomenal explosion. Oh god. Yeah, heavy smoke from the fires. Yep, ammo explosion on board Shokaku. She's she's not gonna make it. Yeah, wait now for his attack on our carriers. We'll see. Yep, here it comes. And we have 20 F4F Wildcats. Let's hope for the best here. Yeah, they know where we are. Their numbers aren't as large, but the B5N2Ks are pretty damn deadly. Come on, let's get these Wildcats going. He doesn't have a huge amount of zeros, yeah. Definitely a small raid. Now, I'd love to have seen P40Es scrambled here. But I suppose they're on escort rather than combat air-patrol. Come on, let's do this. I mean, these fighters are pretty damn good. And we do have the numbers. I mean, we have a combined force, we have all of the ships in the actual area combined into 1. The radar is definitely handy. Yeah, 1-0 down. Looks as though we're actually diving on the enemy here. That's very nice. Another 0 damage. Yep. I don't think they're going to manage this. I mean, these zeros are just all that actually lies in between the bombers here and just utter annihilation. Right, there's one destroyed, but we still have the advantage in numbers. The pilots are putting up an admirable performance, but yeah. As I say that, we are seeing a lot of them drop out of formation here. Come on, guys. Yeah, look at that. We are diving on a zero. The thing is, we can take a zero down should we actually line up. We do have that firepower. It's just the maneuverability of the zero makes it difficult. But I mean, they don't have the durability that these F4Fs have. They can take a hit and come back. I'm actually not entirely sure about the Japanese any kind of bonuses. Right, it looks like the bombers may yet proceed through here. Come on, guys. Yeah, one F4F. I don't think we're going to make it to the bombers, but let's hope for the best that our AA can actually handle it. Yep, there we go. Right, Portland. Yeah, 60 kilogram bomb. That's not going to do a lot. That will, however. Chicago takes a torpedo. Is that an additional torpedo? Wow. Okay. Bomb hit on Lexington. Second bomb hit. I mean... Come on, Yorktown. Fuel storage explosion. Yeah, okay, this is rough. I think we've annihilated the Japanese destroyers, but we may have seen our own destroyed here. So far, 2 bomb hits. Right, Lexington, come on. Right, another bomb hit. We can take the bomb hits, the torpedoes that we need to worry about. Another torpedo into Yorktown. Fuel storage explosion. Yeah, I think Yorktown's going to go down here. If only it was the D3A valves. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Potentially Yorktown may survive. Right, Chicago's gone down. Oh. That was a rough battle, so let's see here. Chicago, 3 torpedo hits and is sunk. Lexington, 4 bomb hits, she's not on fire though. Yorktown takes a mighty 3 torpedoes. She may make it to Cooktown, but we'll see what the damage is after the battle. She may yet even go down. Right, we are seeing additional SPD-3s here. Right, do we actually make it straight through? Yes, we do. Fantastic. Right, revenge time, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, we need these hits. Japanese flak has actually been relatively impressive here at the moment. Come on, a hit. Ugh. That's a shame. Okay. Well, I mean, that is some rough... yeah. I don't know what it is about the Coral Sea. It's one of these things of like, sure, you may actually hit their carriers, but because you're hitting their carriers, that also means they're probably going to hit your carriers. It's a dangerous, dangerous game. If I'm in range of them, they're most definitely in range of me. Yeah, Zuikaku's on fire, Shokaku's on fire. So I don't believe they'll be able to launch much in the way of aircraft. Definitely not Shokaku. Enterprise we need to save. If she can make it, we'll save her. I mean, we are seeing planes diverting from the carrier here, which is not exactly good news. It's not really a good sign. If she makes it through the turn, we might be able to save her. At the end of the day, we've succeeded in our goals here. Yeah, Shoho is the danger now. I mean, currently, the Japanese have one heavily damaged carrier, as well as we have one heavily damaged carrier. I could try to bring submarines into play here. Oh, we are seeing our planes, actually. Oh, I love it. So we are seeing the Devastators actually running a mission there. Okay, yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This isn't gonna end well. Yeah. I honestly didn't think they'd have anything left. I honestly did not think they'd have anything left here. I think we maybe should have attached long-range combat air patrol from the P-40Es. This is not good. Yeah, we might even lose both carriers here. I mean, one of them is definitely going to go down here. We need to just hope for the absolute best. Because there's a lot of torpedo bombers. I'm genuinely surprised they've been able to launch this raid here. I mean, this is a bloody drunk punch battle. Well, punch-drunk battle. Right, just focus on everything else but the carriers. Oh. Yeah, there we go. That's one torpedo, critical damage. That's not good. Mm-hmm. I just love every scenario I ever record, I actually lose. Oh dear, that's, what, 3 torpedoes? Okay. Oh. She's on fire with heavy damage. I mean, that's 3 torpedoes to each of our carriers. I think we've actually come off on the worst. We've come off worse there. That's bloody hurt, 200 feet. I think the P-40Es definitely run escort here. I mean, let's see what happens, but... Okay, we have fucking 25 zeros. Bloody hell. Yeah. This is just... This is 2 punch-drunk boxers. What do we think here? Yeah, this is it. Our torpedo bombers definitely lack that range. While the B5N2Ks have some phenomenal range. I mean, this is what the danger is of the Japanese carrier forces. It's not so much the dive bombers. It's absolutely the torpedo bombers. They will absolutely bring down that plane. Now, I don't know how many of our bombers are going to make it through here. I'm genuinely quite worried. I think we're gonna... We might even see our carrier forces actually neutered to a degree. Come on, guys, make it through. Yeah, exactly. Come on, guys. Eventually the Zeros will run out of ammunition. Our Dauntlesses do have some armor and durability, they do have defensive fire, so we're going to lose a lot. I think we might lose maybe half to 3/4, but I think they will still make it through. Yeah, that's hurting. Okay, what we're going to do here is actually... Meow. Okay, we'll speed the results up here. Right, okay, actually that's not too bad. Thunderstorms off the target though. Right, come on, we need to hit Shokaku. The weather isn't helping us, but come on. You were so good earlier, please hit. Please? Yeah, no. Okay. Ugh. Heavy losses there. Shokaku didn't take a scratch. Had we been able to get in here with the SPDs? I mean, the SPDs did well at first, but yeah, the last run here, just... we didn't see those results. So the situation is rather interesting. Yep, and here comes the bombers. I'm just going to assume they make it. Yeah. Okay, the damage isn't as bad as I feared, but it's still going to be quite severe. And we'll see a few planes here with damage, but I think we honestly, I didn't expect this to be Shokaku and Zuikaku. I have an idea to take the cruisers and... I mean, with this as it, we could potentially do that. We do have the actual surface warship advantage, I'd imagine, at this point. What do we have here? S-44. Destroyer Minesweeper W-20. I think everybody's got slow carriers here at the moment. Right. The Destroyer Minesweeper is actually doing a bloody good job. That's actually really quite admirable. Okay, no hits, but yeah, he's getting close. Right, here we go. Hit but no explosion. Damn. Yeah. Oh dear. I think we need to bring this other submarine down into the area. I genuinely did not expect this to be the two fleet carriers. I think that's where we've been caught out there. I thought they would be in the area. I thought I'd be okay moving this way. Okay, never underestimate the enemy then. That's clearly been driven home here. What do you guys think then so far? Did you expect to see two fleet carriers show up? I sure for one did not. Genuinely didn't think they'd show up. I've not seen much of this game. Got a quick rundown for someone who knows nothing about this. Well, how to describe Gunner Grisby's War of the Pacific Admirals Edition? It would be perhaps the most in-depth game set in the Pacific. This is absolutely incredible. I would say possibly one of the greatest war games ever, just ever. Incredible, really. Yeah, I mean, for example, this is my monitor here in the yellow box, 1920 by 1080 resolution. The red box is scenarios that we're playing in today. But in the full campaign, the entirety of the map is in play. So you imagine just how much of the Earth's surface this makes up. And you are playing the Pacific War day by day. It's incredible, really. Yeah, I didn't expect such results after the first strike. Yeah, me either. Me either. Everybody's just scattering here. I mean, Lexington... Okay, so we have 62 flotation damage. I still have some Devastators aboard. These F4Fs are just not in a good shape. One of them will be up here. We're gonna need the... we're gonna need some fire to support... Bloody... Right, okay. Now, I do have all these destroyers here. Well, all of these escorts. I mean, what do you guys think? Do we actually try to assault these forces? I mean, the thing is, do I put them in a task force together? Possibly. They won't launch planes anymore, but Lex might survive. We'll put them in together here, actually. I think... Let's see. Yeah, the A-20s to the area. Right. What I'm going to do here, then, is actually take... I'll take 10 ships here. Actually, I'm going to send Portland out again. Well, this is it. I think the difficulty is how to decide what to do. Yeah, Yorktown definitely took a lot of hits here. Oh dear. True. I don't know. Yorktown might survive. Lexington might survive. Yeah. Fires aboard Lexington are under control. The fires aboard Yorktown are significantly worse. It's not too bad. Honestly, once you learn the basics, the game just flows from there. There's lots of support out there. Yeah. What do you guys think then? Do we actually assign... How should we split our forces? The thing is, I'd imagine they should be on fire. I don't imagine they'll be able to launch any planes. But I don't want to take the risk that we have our forces just annihilated. Right, we are seeing a lot of men here. Right. Right, Japanese submarines off here. The Tangier. I mean, she might even draw fire, but she's going to head to Port Moresby this turn. I mean, she's just been absolutely happy here. Send 2 surface task forces full speed. Yeah. What I'm going to do here then is actually... just do it. How aggressive is your surface combatant? Well, what we'll do here then is actually, we'll create 2 surface task forces as suggested, actually. So, let's take a look at the Portland. I can't see the actual... Oh, no, I can see the commander. Well, I'll just add you in here. Well, actually, we'll take a look at the actual commanders first and foremost. Yeah. Right. Portland. Aggression 42. 50. 56. 68. 64. Okay, so we're going to take the New Orleans and the Astoria. To get it to run in high-definition screens, do you still have to put switches? Well, thankfully, we do have something new now, actually. It has been created by a user. I don't know what his forum name is, but I know his Discord name is Pie Knight. Or Pie Knight? Pie Knight? I mean, it sounds like Pie Knight, but it's actually PY Knight, I believe. He has created the CB's utility, which is fantastic, actually. It definitely takes all the previous hassle of making the switches and just, yeah, removes that completely. Well, what I'm thinking here is we might go with, like, potentially... Well, let's see. Possibly so. I suppose the thing is these guys can be pulling out of the action. So, yeah, fuck it. We'll go for one large one. We'll have, ideally, Astoria lead. Take the Australia. Right, I'll leave Chester. It's a hard decision, isn't it? Yeah, we definitely outnumber him. We definitely outnumber him. What I'm going to do is actually create 2 task forces. I mean, it would be nice to have one giant one, but I do want to make sure we actually do hit. So what I'm going to do here then is we'll run with New Orleans, Astoria, Australia. And we'll run with 3 destroyers. Actually, make that 4 destroyers. We do have additional ones. Actually. 8 ships. 9 ships. Yeah, that'll work out well. Okay, full speed. Max reaction. Okay, patrol zones. So you are heading west. You're heading southwest. Now, I mean, this is it. How do we actually want to try and set this up? Well, what we'll do first is, yeah, head there. Well, then again, what we'll do is clear that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely get the bombers in action. Actually, 1 second. Okay, try that. Threat tolerance being absolute. Don't retreat, just attack. The damage shifts will be heading towards Rabaul. Okay. Well, what we'll do then is we'll run it the opposite way then. I suppose they will be running to Rabaul, won't they? This is it, I guess they honestly can't fight anymore, can they? So that's a good point. Okay, we have your destination. Let's hope for the best. Okay. Direct, yeah. Direct and absolute. Send them patrol around Woodlark Island. Yeah, potentially here. Okay. We'll do that with the Portland and Minneapolis. Ah, that's waypoint. Retirement allowed, okay. Okay. Well, should we sell them? Sorry, not sell them. Just tell them to actually head to that destination, then. Retirement allowed. Yeah, that'll be fine. You're going to patrol that area. Instead, what I'll do then is... let's have them head north then. How do we want to run this? Of course, I'd like to hit this force over here, but that one doesn't matter anywhere near as much. So we'll head north over this way then. Retirement is allowed. They have their max reaction on here. Okay, the carriers. Now we're going to actually have you head towards Cooktown. Well, Cooktown. The reason being it's closer. Yeah, heavy damage. 5 knots. We'll run here at cruise speed then, just to make sure that ideally flotation damage won't increase. Yeah, they are burning. What we'll do then is we'll assign fighters to protect them. Now, I do have some speed over here. Sorry, aircraft over here. Do we want it as destination or patrol then? Which one would allow the patrol? Do we want it on... So what are we thinking here? Destination or patrol? So they're currently on just straight up destination. Basically just head in here. Patrol. Right, okay. Right, okay. So, Woodlark Island. Right, okay. Right, there we go. Hope for the best. Now, we do have a airfield over here. What I'm going to do is actually base some fighters of this way so we can actually try and just give them some cover. Just absolutely try and give them some cover. Okay, so 100% long range combat air patrol. I'm actually going to reduce... Yeah, so task force... What do we want? 26. 2 knots, Jesus. Yeah, 26. We'll lower that altitude down to, I think 10,000 feet. What's the range from Port Moresby? 5. From Cook, it is 5. Yeah, so we'll just run it from both bases and just to make sure that we do have potential. Yeah, go lower. Okay, we'll run 5,000 feet then. Or do we... we'll run about 9,000 feet actually, and then we're in that band. About 9,000 feet then. I mean, assuming more aircraft are launched, but... so for the best. Right, I think what I may do is actually tell the Catalinas to attack. Yeah, I'd be pretty impressed by the Japanese if they were able to push forward. Right. Oops, other way. Oh, Paul. Ah, man. That sounds awful. Yeah, someone night surge. God, what am I doing here? Right, where's that? Okay. Well, that's what I meant to do. I guess an additional 10 degrees won't hurt. 40% of them, I guess. Well... yeah. What do we think? Run them from Port Moresby? I'll take one squadron of Mitchells then. Or possibly both of them. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, sure, we're gonna have an overload at Moresby, but bugger it, we need to kill. Doesn't have the additional aircraft here. The stack level's not too bad. Oh, that's good then, Paul. I'm glad. Where's that going to take us? So there, Drac. How you doing, my man? Right. I think we'll move an additional 10 degrees. It's not bad. Yeah, we'll give that a go. What do we think? Do we, I think we'll move the other Mitchells. Might as well. At least then they may have a chance. Indeed, yep. We're here. There may be some kind of issue with your sound, if not drag. Right. Set all level bombers to this setting. This isn't a game, it's a spreadsheet. But that is part of the game. Right, okay, I need to run the Catalina here. There is spreadsheets for the game. Okay, there we go. I mean, that's actually rather incredible, isn't it, to think that on the other side of the country, that certain strains of cold are, well, bloody different. It's incredible. I mean, the American continent is truly vast. Would love to see more of it one day. Though, I did have an interesting experience with family. What was the date? I can't remember what the date was. But we were in New Orleans the night before Hurricane Katrina, so that was a hell of an experience. That was a very, very interesting experience seeing all of the evacuations going ahead. We actually ate in the French district, yeah, the French Quarter, sorry, on the front there, the night before, so, yeah, that was incredible actually seeing the weather. Wow. It's like, the weather in the UK is absolutely nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. Okay, so patrols over here. Crazy. Yeah, we do have some fighters. Do we have any F1Fs? We do have some F1Fs. Their range is decent, actually. Sure, also north of Woodwork Island. Woodwalk. I said woodwork. Yeah, this is indeed Admiral's Edition. Though I am using some visual modifications, so that's why the actual map does look different. Okay, 50% combat air patrol. Yeah, these wildcats aren't really in great shape. I'll have them run escort, to be honest. Oh, patrol with the Catalinas. Yeah, that's a good idea. Though the Havocs could actually do that. That's a good idea. I'm using 1920 by 1080. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I would not want to do something like that. I still thought these runaways have not been in action once. I feel bad for them. We'll have them run over here. But yeah, this is really balls to the wall. We'll have our submarines moved south then. We do have another submarine over here that could actually try to intercept. Right, move at full speed if you will. Okay. Bring the Gato class down here. Have you patrol south and then obviously move back up. Ideally we see some good results here. Full speed. Yep, there we go. What is the weather prediction then? Well, actually, let's take a look at the weather at the moment. Right, so clear weather here potentially. Or at least as far as we can tell. Stream overcast, we have it. Yeah, stream overcast over our carriers. Hopefully the overcast will make all the difference. That would be wonderful. Ooh. Oh dear. Yeah, I know, right? The flight plan is usually to fly above most of the rough weather. Yeah. Just incredible. Okay, we'll go forward then into this turn. This has been an eventful last few days. So for the best. No, I didn't send any of the other patrol squadrons to night, though we do have our cruisers moving in, so some of their actual float planes are set to night search. I'm hoping they'll be able to pick them up. Generally depends on really how the American right, here we go, right. Yeah, that's looking pretty much in our favor. So we see Matsuki, yeah. The Yubari, I believe that is a flame. Let's see how they perform here at night. Torpedoes in the water. Portland opens fire. 6,000 yards. Minneapolis opened fire. Yeah, these torpedoes could do a lot of damage if they do hit. The Japanese are pretty dangerous at night. Come on, we need to see these guns open fire. We need to see these hits. They may have actually lost of our torpedoes now. I don't think they'll have much in the way of reserve. Come on, Portland. Come on, Minneapolis. You can do this. It's nice to see a surface battle, though. Good old-fashioned eye-to-eye. Right, range has increased to 10,000 yards. Right, Minneapolis has actually been hit. Let's see some hits back. Right, here we go. Yubari has been hit. That's what I need to see. Hobart has been hit. Right, okay, additional torpedoes in the water, but the Japanese have not been able to land their torpedoes so far, and the task force breaks off. I think the night has definitely made it harder for our forces here. Minneapolis takes 2 hits, Hobart takes 1, Yubari takes an additional hit. But come day rise, I think things will be better. Actually, what the hell is this? The Japanese might be chasing us. Right, Yubari again. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can actually defeat them here. Now, I'm actually really worried about what this is. Genuinely don't have a clue. Minneapolis opens fire. Sims opening fire. The range is now closing. I don't think they'll have much in the way of torpedoes. Yubari has been hit. Yep, we are seeing American torpedoes in the water now. Come on, Sims. 5,000 yards. Big guns are pulled on opening fire. And once again hit on right. Massive explosive damage there on Yubari. Now the escort Asanagi. She's still a competent craft, but she's not as well armed as the national traditional destroyer here, so yeah. Fitch has ordered the task force to disengage, but the range has close to 3,000 yards. Yubari hit once again by the 8-inch guns. We did see fires in the control room there. Ooh. Sims has been hit. Was that a torpedo or was that just a gun? Didn't quite see that one. Either way, Sims has taken some heavy damage. Asanagi taking a hit. Yeah, critical damage there. She's up in flames. Range increases to 8,000 yards. Hobart takes another hit to the superstructure. Upper works have been carried away by the explosion, it seems. Right, the Japanese are ordered to retreat here. 13,000 yards. And this is interesting, actually, the Yayoi. She's been through some stuff. I mean, this force has been through some absolute hell. The dive bombers definitely did a lot of damage. Oh, I missed a hit on Hobart there, but she's set aflame. Right, task force breaks off. What is the damage after battle then? So Hobart takes a hit. Sims takes a hit then. Okay, so she's not too badly damaged. I was worried that it was a torpedo, but no, it's a shell. Not too bad then. Not too bad. Yubari takes an additional 3 hits. I mean, from the 8-inch guns, that is quite damaging. Yeah. Task force breaks off at 13,000 yards. Looks like the Japanese are chasing us here. Right, okay. And we see the Yubari happen upon the Astoria, the Australia. What else was it now? New Orleans, perhaps? Maneuvering. I mean, the thing is, this is nighttime combat, but 4 out of the 5 ships of the Japanese task force are aflame. It's nice to see the Australians operating with the American forces here. I love the difference between the Australian and the American heavy cruisers. You can definitely see the difference in design. And imagine the Australian is an older ship. Range closes to 11,000 yards. Torpedoes out. Ooh, Yubari hit by 8-inch guns. Fire on the main deck. Australia scores a solid hit there. Ideally, we'll see if revenge served for the destruction inflicted upon Enterprise and Lexington. No signs currently of Shokaku or Zuikaku, though they may be here. Range closes to 9,000 yards. Yep, I'll post the link to the Discord after the stream. Or if somebody could actually post a link to my Discord, that'd be fantastic. Ah, thank you very much there, Lupus. Torpedoes in the water here. Torpedoes. This force is absolutely soaked up so much damage up. Look at all these torpedoes being sent out here. Unfortunately, we've not actually been able to land hits. Right, the range is still closing. Right, hit on Yubari. And this has actually been a rather interesting take on the Battle of the Coral Sea. I mean, the Japanese landing at Port Moresby is completely annihilated. But, yeah. The Japanese inflict some rather heavy damage upon our own carriers. The interesting thing here is we've not seen any mention of Shoho. Right, hit but no explosion. That was extremely lucky. Yeah, Yubari is not... She's not going to make it out of it. Right, we can see the range increasing. Yeah, so Yubari's not going anywhere. Yeah, her main gun is out there. Superstructure hit on the New Orleans. I mean, the New Orleans is very heavily armored. Yoy is hit. Oiti. Actually undamaged as far as yet. Yeah, Yabari's lost another gun there, it seems. Severe casualties to damaged parties. She's going down. There's no doubt about that one. She's going down. She's taking additional hits here. Severe engine damage. Another 8-inch hit. Allied task force is actually looking in relatively good. I don't think we've actually taken any damage as far as yet. Yep, Yubari goes down. She finally sinks beneath the waves. Goodbye, Yubari. $11,000 yards. Right, I'm genuinely interested if this escort will make it out of here. She's not taken a single hit. She's been graced here. Yubari definitely took a beating. She did continue the fight. She definitely did put some shells down range. Right. Waity taking some fire, some attention there. No, she doesn't take any hits. The question is, are we going to find Shokaku or Zuikaku? We're going to speed up the results here and just see what happens. I think the outcome was already written there. Yep, Yubari goes down, 13 additional shell hits. New Orleans suffers 1 hit. Phelps suffers 1 hit. Mutsuki 1 hit. Yayoi 5 hits additional. Heavy damage here, she's on fire. Yeah. Asanagi's on fire. Are we going to find the carriers though? That's the question. They shouldn't be so fast. They've got to be around here somewhere. They've got to be. Unless they managed to maintain some... Right, what was that? Temporary flotation failing aboard Lexington, was that? Well, she's still afloat, and they're not too far from Cooktown. They are making extremely slow progress. But as long as they stay afloat, they'll be able to live. If they can limp into port, then at least there's a good chance they may survive. Right, here we go. Yep. So we actually encounter, once again, the remnants of the Yubari task force. But the question is, are they going to survive the day? And I doubt that. Unless they manage to retreat, I don't think they'll make it out. So range here, 26,000 yards. 28,000 yards. Looks like they may slip away unless we can actually catch up. Yeah, both task forces evade combat. Lucky. No sightings of Shokaku or Zuikaku. I don't know. I doubt that they could have gone below the waves. Right, 9 ships there. Perhaps we might have expected them to go north and... Right, we are seeing G3M2 Nels here. Astoria taking the attention here. G3M2 goes down to flak. Yeah, another G3 down. Come on, New Orleans. Torpedo into New Orleans. Right, okay, 1 torpedo. She's going to be hurting, but she can take that damage. Right, we are seeing A6M2 Roofies, the A6M2N Roofie, which is the float plane variant. The G3s as well. Yeah, torpedo into Minneapolis. That's rough. Oh, good God. Right, okay, yeah. The bloody Japs. They've hoodwinked us here. I honestly thought they would have been going off. Oh my God. Bloody Japs. Yeah, you can definitely get it there. If you head into the Warner Pacific channel and then, like, click the little icon for pinned, you'll be able to find it. See you later there, Lupus. You're just in time to actually miss the demise of US carrier strength here. I generally can't believe they've actually been able to manage to repair that damage, let alone launch the aircraft. The P-40Es have tried. We do have additional ones arriving, but they're not going to stack up much against the Zeros. Yeah, goodbye, Lexington. Let's hope the flak can make it work. Indomitable. Let's hope she is. 2 torpedoes into Lexington. 3 torpedoes into Lexington. Fuel storage explosion. I'm honestly impressed with the Japanese here, how they've actually been able to pull this off. Yorktown. Torpedoed. Yeah, it honestly looks like the Japanese are gonna pull off something of a Pyrrhic victory here. Well played by them. I mean, this is it, we detached all of our escorts here. The vast majority to hunt down the enemy forces. Yep, Chester taking hits. And we chased the wrong task force. That's incredible. Chester taking a torpedo there. I think Ouch doesn't not quite cover this. True, the Japanese will lose here, regardless. And the fact is, Zuikaku, Shokaku, they've taken some heavy damage. Lexington goes down, Yorktown goes down, Chester goes down, Woden goes down. Yeah. The Japanese have managed it. I'm honestly quite surprised they were able to do that. Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, was it Shokaku who suffered a munitions explosion? I think the thing is, had we had any of those additional bomb raids actually hit home, it would have been completely different. But yeah, the Japanese managed to actually pull it off with really fairly good numbers. 10 A6M2 Zeros, 24 B5N2Ks, 17 D3A1 Vals. That's actually a fairly healthy complement of planes. Where did they come from? Was it Zuikaku, perhaps? Can I see that? Yeah, fuel storage explosion. Fuel storage explosion. Bloody impressive. And that, that leaves our carrier strength down to 0. Genuinely impressed. Gotta hand it to the AI here, they've definitely pulled off a quick one. I mean, having the surface raid here would have been fantastic had we found the carriers, but in hindsight, it's definitely not looking too happy for us now. I can't take the blame for this one. This was a suggestion, and that's my excuse. Genuinely impressed, though. I've got to say, genuinely impressed. Ah, it's been amazing. New Orleans down. Jesus. Australia takes a hit. I mean, New Orleans there, 4 hits. That's some rough times. Yeah, it was generally fun to watch. I think the thing was, we completely underestimated the Japanese. I genuinely did not think we'd see the fleet carriers here. I've not seen any mention of Shoho. I don't know where she is. I've not yet even seen her. So, I was not. I mean, this is it. Had we been expecting the fleet carriers here, things would have been different. We would have had the long-range combat air patrol, but 100% did not expect that to happen. I love that. It's honestly been a very exciting game. I think we could see a draw here, to be honest. Wow. That is impressive. Okay, we do have the submarine S40 over here. She might be able to make it. I completely forgot about her, to be honest. Right, clear your destination. Head for the enemy. She's moving southeast now. Okay, let's hope for the best. We'll try to pull our forces out. Right, replenish at sea. Okay, head back. There's not really a good spot to be right now. Okay, we'll head up mission speed. We'll bring the submarine south in. We may yet still be able to defeat the the Australian carriers. Australian carriers? What the hell am I saying? Japanese carriers. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's an absolutely, it's not a wrong point at all. It's fully... It's bang on. It's absolutely bang on. I just honestly did not expect the Japanese to have gone south. I thought they would have headed north. I think this is it. I honestly thought we'd see more damage. Are you going to sink the Melbourne? Right, we'll bring our submarines down south. We do still have the Australian and the Astoria. Okay, mission speed will be sufficient. Okay, we'll sink them. Yeah, S44. I imagine she's probably... S38 is good. 47 is good. 42 still has some. Greenling is actually in the area. She will actually be able to close the distance, I'd imagine. 2 days should be on top of her. Unless they actually try to pull out of the area. S44 still has some munitions. Yeah. Revenge time, really, isn't it? We'll keep up these actual patrols in this area. Though what I'll do here, Catalina. There we go, try and keep an eye on her. The A-20s are over here. The issue is the lack of range. We still wouldn't be able to hit her from really anywhere. That's the issue. What we'll have to do then is... Right, unloading over there. Not really what I would have wanted you to do, but okay. Where's the Tangier? I know, right? Oh, you're here. Okay, you made it. You made it with no issues. The ship I was genuinely worried about actually did make it with not a single scratch. Okay, at least we do have some additional aviation support there. Yeah, 23 plus 24. These AVs are fantastic. Still overburdened, but we'll hope for the best. The weather... I mean, we had the overcast. Genuinely impressed there. We'll just have to see if we can actually hunt them down in the last few minutes here. But I mean, Tenno, Hiker, Banzai. The fact that the Japanese still have at least one carrier float is impressive. Genuinely impressive. Right. Now I'm going to be rather intrigued to see where the Japanese carriers head. The thing is, we have still inflicted damage upon them. We haven't knocked them out, but I don't think they'll be making it to Midway. I genuinely don't know where the Shoho is. I've not seen her once. At least I've not seen the Japanese carrier in the area, the light carrier. No idea where she is. I mean, the loss of Yorktown and Enterprise. Sorry, Lexington. Right, here we go. We do find them, however. Right. Allied Task Force attempts to evade combat. God damn it. Don't evade combat. Come on, force the battle. Hit the carriers. Avenge. Avenge your comrades. Right, come on, let's see this battle. I want this. Right, fire open. Alright, sorry, open fire. Our task force breaks off. But we have found them. They are operating here. We might actually see our bombers. Right, Zuikaku! Miss! Damn it! Bloody evaded our submarines as well. God damn it, the AI just knows what I'm gonna do here. Genuinely. They just keep pulling this off. I'm genuinely impressed here. We may see the bombers actually find her. Yeah, look at them. We're now in this area when she's here. Come on. Right, we do have a submarine there. Here comes the insult to injury. Yeah. With a target that valuable, you would not pull out of that battle, even if it meant your demise. You would go for that. Those carriers represent absolutely everything. Yeah, double useless. Oh dear. Okay, let's see what the results are. Hobart sinks. Jesus. Minneapolis, heavy fires, heavy damage. Portland, heavy fires. Our forces have just missed here. So many opportunities. Let's hope that the bombers might be able to pull something off. I'm so bloody impressed. I'm just so... I just don't even know what to say. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah. Sims goes down, Hammond goes down. 7 hits to Australia. Astoria, 1 bomb hit, 3 torpedoes hit. Jesus. And it carries on. Ah. Oh. Sims down. My lord, the Japanese have had some just incredible luck here. Yeah, Anderson goes down. I think Australia's going down. Yeah, Australia goes down. GG indeed. Portland goes down. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think it's something of a talent to actually stream and just completely and utterly lose every time. I don't know what it is, I just seem to be cursed. But it has been genuinely a sight, and that has been a really interesting turnaround. It feels like we only moved maybe like twice. I think we moved from here to here, and then everything just from this spot here just went to hell. All of that coming from the fact that we didn't anticipate the Japanese fleet carriers, and that was the thing that really tripped us up. Had we anticipated that, things would have been different, but hand on heart, did not see that one come in. Right, we need to hunt them down. We do have the submarines here that might be able to pull this off. Absolute. Do not retreat. Oh dear. And the thing is, our surface ships are just too damaged at this point. They've taken an absolute pounding. So absolutely, it's just absolutely up to the airplanes, the aircraft, and the submarines. They're the only ones who can actually pull anything off here at this point. Okay. Yeah, the subs have actually been fairly good. I mean, the SPD-3 Dauntlesses, at the beginning, they were doing very well. They were hitting everything. They did well on the first attack run of the carriers, and then just afterwards, they just didn't seem to be actually finish the job at all. Okay. Issue is I lack range. The B-25C Mitchells might be able to pull this off. Or the Mitchells in general. But honestly, it's been a good game. I didn't think the AI would be this dangerous. I suppose that's it. Never underestimate your enemy. We still have some torpedo bombers. Doubt they'll be able to join the battle, but anything's better than anything. Well, nothing really. Just gotta hope for the best. Just gotta hope for our submarines to actually finish the job. Doubt it, but we'll see. I mean, this could be a complete wipe for both forces, but the thing is, we don't know where the bloody Japanese light carrier is. Okay, last turn. Let's see if we can pull this off. Right, looks as though they've, yeah, I honestly do not know the extent of the damage to Zuikaku and Shokaku. They've been making some very, very impressive speed. It seems they might have actually outrun the carriers here unless we can actually pick them up. Sorry, the submarines, I mean. Dive bomber. Don't tell me they've gone south. I mean, the audacity, that is what gets me, is the audacity. I suppose it worked out for them, and we haven't even found them. That's just... that's incredible. Oh wow, okay, I'm just gonna say the Japanese did very well here. That was unexpected. But I hope you guys have genuinely enjoyed that. I've loved every minute of this. This has been actually really quite exciting. I knew it'd be fun, but I didn't think it would be this just crazy. Yeah, indeed. Reassignment, definitely. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I have. If you'd like to see more of my content, you can find myself on YouTube at XTRG. And thank you again to our hosts here, Matrix Games and Submarine Games. They've done a fantastic job. So until next time, goodbye for now. Have a great day, evening, whatever you're doing. Have a good one. Goodbye for now.